Hello, everybody. Welcome back to MIRRORMOURN. I am your Dungeon Master, Esper, and we've got our regular crew of four guys here. Why don't you all introduce your characters real quick and jump into the adventure?
Oh, I'm Wallykos, or I'm Warsor, and I'm playing Wallykos, the Paragon of the Trickster, level 4 now.
I am Vapor playing Vince, as he almost did. But I am Vince playing Vapor, the Wild Magic Sorcerer.
I am Nick playing Adriel, the swashbuckling rogue.
And I'm Adam, and I'm playing Aygir, who is a Hobgoblin, and he's an Artificer, which I believe is the correct way to pronounce it. Correct way to pronounce it. I can talk today. Hey.
All right, so there was a tense showdown with some bounty hunters last session. You all managed to prevail due to some supernatural trickery and skillfulness of Wallykos and a great luck of a nat 20 on a death saving throw. And then out in the street, the actual encounter played out in full with the entire party gathered together now. The halflings who Wallykos located at the tavern, the halfling NPCs that Wallykos located at the tavern, lended some aid as well. And you defeated two of the three orc bounty hunters, the main one and one of the accomplices or companions. One of them got away. You did quite well in the fight, though I still will attribute part of that to me actually forgetting to do the bounty hunter's main attack on one of the turns, which I will blame that on my forgetting to put up my amethyst obelisk, which I always have this thing up when I'm DMing. I know you can't see it online, but I always have it up. It was there throughout all of Land.
You really think that's why we won, Esper?
That's my talisman of Dungeon Master luck and power.
Well,
so
I guess you'll have to show us this session.
I misplaced it last session, so that's why I was off my game.
Well, the gods had spoken, and they decreed that the bounty hunter was to lose that fight.
Yeah,
so.
and he did. Sporek nil is now nil.
More like Sporek killed.
Yeah, he got deadified. Though one of them is out there still somewhere. So there's an orc bounty hunter who is probably
will run back home to Daddy and say, "Oh my goodness, these guys killed him." Yeah.
All right, so you all officially connected with this halfling party. Their captain is Maxwell Fruck, captain of the ship Soonest, which is part of the flotilla, the halfling sea-based settlement, or I can't call it a settlement, town. And but you're not actually going to the flotilla. You have determined there's no time for that. Time is actually of the essence as you are seeking out Blackrock Isle, an accursed volcanic ruin that has an old giant citadel ruin at its heart. And meanwhile, or simultaneously, a enemy party known as the Thralls of Baal, these servants of Baal Vonder, the clandestine villain of the campaign. The Thralls of Baal as well are seeking out the citadel. And we'll get into a couple more details to refresh on that in a moment, but I'd like to turn it over to you all as you are on board the ship. It is nighttime. It is your first night aboard Soonest. You have some basic accommodations. There are a number of halflings. It's a whole halfling crew except for one bugbear named Shaggy. And I think everyone's settling in for the evening, for the night. It's been a hell of a day.
I think you said Satyr Vigil was the name of the giant ruin. Okay.
Yes, Satyr Vigil is the ruined citadel that you're seeking out. Wallykos, you in particular are quite exhausted and you're injured.
Near death. I was
I
took an injury actually. Yeah, like you said.
Adriel would be with Walykos, sort of helping to get him recuperated and bring him anything he needs.
What sort of accommodations do we have, Esper? Are we in a cabin?
Very basic accommodation. It's actually crew
common
quarters. So there's some other crew there with you, and just whatever bunk or sleeping mat you can find.
Well,
They give some consideration to Wallykos, so
it's
maybe you'll get the more comfortable spot.
it's going to be a rough night for Walykos. He's going to have a lot of spasms and thrashing and kind of things going on as his body tries to perhaps advance itself along the stages of its condition.
Mm-hmm.
As he
Well,
is
so
yeah.
pursuant to that, the first thing Aygir did when the sun started going down was he is just going to walk past Wallykos, possibly not even with a word, just because it's understood what's happening, and he takes out from his various bags that he has of tools and whatnot a small pouch, which you, Wallykos, know to be full of Grosheen, and is going to set that down and then walk away, maybe look over his shoulder and say, I think it's time for this. You've earned it.
Thank you.
No
Yeah,
charge.
Do you want,
Adriel. Oh, sorry.
oh no, it's just a quick question. To smoke Grosheen, do you need a special like
You don't need a special pipe. Any pipe will suffice.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's actually, I guess,
a dried.
I would assume
It's
that
actually-
we have something.
Yeah, we probably have something to smoke it
Yeah.
with.
I don't
Um,
think it's on my sheet, but
that is a
Adriel-
good question. Is it a powder or like a dried resin, or is it almost like a leaf?
Well, it actually comes from a type of fungus, from a
Right.
type of mushroom, and so it's these little dried bits, and usually it is ground. It's typical that it comes ground up and fine, or even I guess you could grind it into a powdery form. But it's a
there's
dry
like
thing.
different,
It ignites easily in a pipe.
there's like different ways that you could use it. I guess like as just like the full shroom, or you
Yeah.
can smoke it or grind
Yeah.
it. Like
There's probably like a tea you could make out of it.
yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. Yeah,
then
Primarily it's a smoke though.
yeah.
I would
Oh, Adriel was going to actually get it prepared for Wallykos and everything. Like after Aygir gives it, like while Wallykos, I assume, is probably resting.
yeah.
So Adriel would like get it all prepared, like whether he needs to grind it up or get things. He would get a pipe for Wallykos as well, and once he gets it all ready, he would like walk up to Wallykos and say, "Hey, Wallykos, perhaps this will help."
Yeah, Walykos gratefully accepts, and he just pokes on it a little bit here and there. And I feel like that actually mitigates the rough night he was going to have.
Mm.
Now they have some Grosheen, but there's still some, crackling and like just stirring. He can't, like his like body muscles are inflamed very
Mhm.
much. Maybe especially his neck and his back, seem to be like deformed
Yeah.
a bit
yeah.
more. Yeah.
So this is something that you've been struggling with. It's been afflicting you for years at this point, actually, at least a couple years.
But I feel like we've been
And it's
kind of
been-
laying low for a while, so I haven't been that active.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think it's also
yeah.
been getting worse. It's been flaring up recently, and maybe that has something to do with other things happening in the world. Maybe not. We can let that unfold as it will. But there's something happening to Wallykos's body where you are racked with spasms and this ever unfolding mutation that's turning you into this beast man, because you were born an elf. You are an elf, but you are a kind of halfway something else at this point.
Yeah.
There is an appearance of an NPC, and I should clarify, not only for you guys but for everyone watching. Wallykos, Warsor the player, literally had wanted to use a serendipitous encounter at that fume hovel back in Sandbeer at the Smoke Tavern, but everything got kind of caught up in the action of it all, and it never was made really clear if that class feature got utilized and you got the benefit, which it didn't really actually get to play out. So we're going to actually do that now. And being allured by the smell of the smoke, appears the halfling, the female halfling, actually. I believe she's the only female on the ship, named Laida Dre, who is something of a bard mystic type woman.
May I ask a quick question real fast just to clarify something?
Mhm.
I'm cool if you don't. Adriel is in here as well with Wallykos. If you'd rather do this by yourself though, Adriel actually has something else he wants to do as well. So it's up to you. I just wanted to check with you there because Adriel would be with you like the whole night unless you wanted this to be like your thing. I know that this is your class thing, so
I mean, you're asking me that question. I'm not gonna throw you out of the room. I don't know what's happening, so we're hanging out.
Okay.
We're just
Yeah, man,
hanging out.
just
You know,
okay.
passing the
play out
gross.
Adriel, however you think,
Yeah.
whatever he would do.
Okay, no, I mean Adriel's fine with someone coming. I just wanted to check to make sure that it was clear
We're
that
sitting on the beanbag chairs, man. We're just passing
Yeah.
the gross back and forth and jamming ideas.
All
Okay,
right,
so
sorry.
Laida Dre, being a halfling, like almost all halflings, is a short person, a small person. She has partially wavy, kind of dirty blonde hair. She has taken off what light armor she had worn into the wharf of Sandbeer and is now, just wearing a dress, a rather practical dress. It gets chilly out at night, especially out on the ocean, and there's a lot of gusts and wind. So a very practical seafaring dress. She's got some light boots on. She has a necklace with some beads that they look to be made of glass. Some pretty nice looking glass beads, and they match with some bracelets and earrings that she wears. And she has these deep gazing amber eyes, and she appears there in the open doorway of the crew quarters where Wallykos and some others are partaking of the Grosheen.
I don't think Walykos would be the first to say anything. He'd just puffing and handing back to the.
Yeah, Adriel would
That is proper Grosheen. I mean the real Grosheen.
Oh, so
Firbolg made.
you know what this is then? Yeah.
Yes, that's rare stuff.
Would you like, a little bit?
She looks about the room and she says, "Well, it is not usually my preference to be partaking in the crew's quarters.
I need it for medicinal purposes, of course, but
Well, you are wounded, and actually that is why I had come to seek you out. I must apologize. I was a bit disoriented earlier by everything that happened in Sandbeer, and
you and me both.
Yes. I
I
probably
feel
should
like
have
I've
offered
mellowed out
to look
with
at your
this.
wound before now.
Yeah, sure. I look around like at the places.
There is no rush. You don't have to come now if you don't want to, but if you would like to come to my cabin, I should take a look at the crossbow bolt injury that you have. You took a nasty
Absolutely.
shot.
Yeah. I'll take one, a little bit longer pull on it, and then I'll be like, all right, let's do that. Adriel, you'll be cool hanging out here for a little bit.
yeah,
Or
like
small ship.
yeah, I'll look up at the halfling, sort of be like, just make sure you don't make it any worse.
I just kind of chuck. Like that's my reaction to that. It's like such an Adriel thing to say.
No. Don't worry. He's in good hands with me.
Yeah, I'll take another like smoke of the Grosheen as well, and just like kind of like look him down and be like, if something happens, this ship's only so big. I know where to find you.
He's just saying shit. Like it's been.
I know all the good hiding places between the walls. I don't know if you can fit into them.
Ain't hide forever.
Challenge accepted. Hide and seek. Adriel.
I think you'll get along well with the men here.
Yeah.
I'll look down at everyone since they're all shorter than me, and then
No, I
just
don't-
like take another bit of the Grosheen and just like kind of give them a nod.
I don't know what it is about ship crews and such, but I just always seem to like get along with them really well. Something about a ship and its crew. Just
Well, they are
they
rather
mesh.
unpretentious, rough and tumble sort, and they have many a
probably it.
a crude tale and body joke to tell.
Maybe it's the near-death experience. Maybe it's the Grosheen. I don't know. I feel like I had a lot on my back earlier, and well,
Well,
it's
you
just
also had a lot
ongoing.
in your back.
Yes, stupid orcs. Ugh, I hate them.
Your sentiments are understandable. Well, shall we?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay, so Wallykos, you go with Laida Dre, this halfling woman, and yeah, she is not much fond of going into the like dedicated crew areas. Ships crews, to put it bluntly, are very rough and tumble bastards.
And she's the only woman on the ship.
Yeah, she generally will associate with the actual party, Maxwell and Troublefield. So they have like their own private,
Upper
smaller
class.
cabins. Yeah, right. And so she, prefers a little bit fairer company. Working on a ship is very rugged, rough, dangerous work, and it's something that is really only cut out for people that are salty sea dogs, essentially. So she has a more pleasant dwelling space. It's her own small cabin. She has like a proper bed in there. She has a dresser. There are some, hanging cloths and some carpets, and it's made to be more comfortable. You smell some oils and perfumes when you walk in as well. She has a covered lamp glowing that provides some ample illumination, and she offers for you to just kind of lie down and relax. Just take it easy here, and just let me know if I go poking somewhere that hurts too much, okay?
Trust me, whatever you do, I've had worse. So
Well, I'm sure.
as long as you don't go cutting me open, I'll be fine.
Well, I'll just take a look and see if you've got any splinters or bits left in there. I might have to, but I'll let you know. Okay, I'll keep you
before
informed.
we get started, though. I should just warn you, my form is a little bit unnerving to those who have not seen it before.
I have seen many I've treated Shaggy, and he's
he's the way he's supposed to be. Mine is a bit more deformed, shall we say?
You are not goblin kind?
No, I am not.
Then I had mistaken you.
It's a common mistake. Don't concern yourself about it. I'm afflicted with you could call it just an affliction, I guess. This is all that needs to be said.
Very well. Well, I don't know what to say about that, but I'll take a look at this. And she
just don't be too concerned. Some of it's already there before you got started.
Okay, so you take off your tunic or shirt or whatever it is that you're wearing, and she gets out, a bowl of water and a clean cloth and fresh bandages and some real basic healer's kit stuff, some poultices and herbs and whatnot, and ding ding ding, gets everything all laid out on a little stand, and she has these small halfling hands that are rather dexterous and delicate, and so she's very gentle and removes the bandage that you'd put on, and takes off this blood crusted bandage, and is looking around back there. Just half an inch more to the left, and this would have split your spine right in two.
Well, he's lucky that he didn't, do that because Adriel would not have stopped until he had been, far, far worse his suffering would have been before he expired. This way, at least he died quickly.
Well, that Adriel seems quite protective over you. Always good to have someone who
We've been
looks
friends
out
since
for us.
childhood, so it's the feeling's mutual.
That's grand. Maybe there's more to him than meets the eye. There is with you.
Yeah, a lot of people don't get Adriel, but there is more to him than meets the eye. I would
You
agree.
have a lot of scars here.
Yeah, the scars. I just kind of I almost pause, I trail off, I may have said more, but I kind of get lost in a memory there for a moment, probably of Baal Vondor and some of his
Mm-hmm.
experiments.
Yeah, and those were days of rather harsh training for you.
Yeah.
So this shouldn't hurt, but again, just let me know if anything unexpected flares up. And she, begins applying a balm to you and puts in like a poultice and, of healing herbs and wraps it in with a fresh bandage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that there's any bits that are left in you there. I don't think you'll be needing chirurgy or anything of the sort. But you'll want to take it easy for a while here, and it would be good to change out for a fresh poultice and bandage every day.
All right. Well, if that's what you say to do, I guess you know better than I.
You're a strong one, I can tell. It looks like the wound, the blood is staunched up quite well on its own.
I'll be honest, I thought I was gonna die there for a moment, but
I thought you were dead, and then you came back up like a phoenix rising from the ashes.
well, maybe that's in part thanks to some of the affliction, but also I just couldn't let myself die like that. A little bit of combination of will and the body that I've been given.
Maxwell seems intent to keep good on his word of delivering you all to Blackrock Isle.
Oh, I'd hope so. I did give him that nice pipe and flute.
That you did. Well, I know this is not exactly my place to go saying, and well, I wouldn't be on this ship if I was a mind to try to convince you men to not go on your foolhardy adventures. But do you feel prepared? Are you sure you're ready? If there's anything I could do to help, I would like to see you return back all in one piece and still alive.
Mm. You're offering to help us. Well,
I have a few things, bits of gear and equipment that from the flotilla, things we halflings, we're a resourceful sort, and we're always finding things and keeping stashes and caches for what whenever might be a situation like this, where you go off to some accursed ruin on a obsidian island haunted by monsters of nightmare. Also, I know a few tricks of magical sorts, if I may say so myself. Out of character.
Yeah, she's
just
offering
for you and for everyone. So serendipitous encounter can provide you some kind of different benefits. It's left open to the GM and the players in the description of the Paragon class. So I think the idea is just for people to do it the way that they see best. And throughout my various campaigns, I've left it that way too. Sometimes a player specifically is like, oh, I need an item, maybe she'll give me a healing potion or something, or maybe she has some lore and I'll ask her about the place we're going to. Other times the players doesn't have anything in mind. It's just whatever, just pull something out of your bag of tricks, GM.
Yeah.
Maybe they give us a bag of tricks.
Yeah. Well, Wallykos, kind of in the moment where he's at right now, can't think of anything for himself. Like he appreciates the offer. Um,
Healing potions.
Magic item for Adriel.
well, I had something that I was gonna go with, but hmm.
Well, you might be needing this, being in the state that you're in, and you might get yourself into another one of such states. And
I
she does
really,
indeed produce a healing potion for you, small glass vial thing, presses it into your hands.
thank you. I feel like I owe you something for this, but
Well, you did offer me a draught of the Grosheen.
that's true. Here, if you, I take a little bit out of my pouch, and hand
Just
it to her.
just one draw really is all that I'll need. I
I'll
don't
I'll share
usually
it with
partake.
you if you're keen to share. I mean, I'll
Oh
use what. Yeah.
yes, indeed. That would be grand.
Plus, I wouldn't mind getting to know you and the crew better. We might be entering into a long-term partnership with your.
It has the makings of it.
Yeah.
So yes, it's always good to know who it is that you are
Who
uh,
are
co-
who are you?
cohabitating with.
Yeah. I mean, I know your name, but why are you on the ship, Lida? And we'll be like getting the Grosheen, going
Hmm.
as we have this discussion.
Well, Maxwell and we go back some time. He was actually sweet on me in the beginning, but that didn't work
Didn't
out.
didn't pan out. No.
No. He well, he will profess quite a bit of love and amorous feelings for a woman in the moment, but you never know. The next night he might be professing so for the next lass that he comes across.
He's a
I
romantic heart that wants to romance everyone.
Oh, you're too kind to him. No, he is a hungry hound dog like the rest of this lot here.
Oh well,
Um,
there's that too.
no, I've I have I have someone at the flotilla who I am promised to. Um, and if the gods are kind, we will be seeing our union bound in less than a year's time from now.
Interesting. Is there a reason for the promise and the delay? It seems odd that you would stay with Maxwell, as you said. Things didn't develop between you, but you stayed on his ship. Is there something that's keeping you, or perhaps something else that you want?
Mm-hmm. Well, he is paying me, and I mean, he is a friend of mine. I've known him for quite some time. Our parents, both mine and his, they're part of the same acting company, and we grew up in that world, the music and stage plays and such. I am fond of it, but even more so a writer. And she points over to where you see a number of rolled up pieces of parchment and some journals, writing, um, a writing set on the stand on the other side of her bed.
Interesting.
I've been logging a number of different journeys as Maxwell has gone all over Haven Isle. This one day is going to make for an amazing volume.
No, you should meet this chronicler that I know back in. Am I having such a blank on the name of the city?
Barnacle?
Barnacle, thank you. There's this chronicler back in
Speaking
Barnacle.
of Christoph?
Yes, do you know him?
Yes, I know Christoph, of course.
That's so
Yes.
amazing. I just said the word chronicler, and everyone just associates that with Christoph in their head. Yeah, he's got to be well known, one of the best, I imagine.
Well, he is not one to be cooped up in a study somewhere. He goes into the field. I'm of a similar ilk, but I mean, he really goes with his knees in the mud and all that.
Don't we know? We ran into him traveling through the jungle just 2 weeks ago. I don't recall exactly how many weeks ago. Not long ago.
You went into a jungle?
Well, we were being chased by like 30 goblins at the time. They kind of wanted to kill us for well, there was a disagreement. They said we owed a toll. We told them we already paid. They didn't like that. Their crabs may have died mysteriously of natural causes, and
Oh,
the goblins took offense.
naturally cooked in your campfire, and
I mean, I'm not going to say that crab isn't delicious, but I can neither confirm nor deny.
well, no one's a true Haven Isler if you don't like a good steamed or roasted crab. I see. Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, there's not exactly a plethora of adventuring parties that go out on expeditions. It's dangerous out there, and well,
Well, I mean, it's
as
good to
much
have.
as I do enjoy what I do here aboard the ship, there's limits. There's a certain line that I won't cross. I'm not out here to get myself killed.
Oh no, but someone should at least sit from a safe distance record events, and that's why it's important to have writers like yourself along.
If we do not keep a record of who we are and where we've been and what we've done, then essentially we have no identity, we have no culture. We're just
and
fluff blowing in the breeze.
and the people in 100 years can't read them and find the treasures that we couldn't get.
So, yes, I'm fine and content for all this now. Me love back at the flotilla, he has his obligations. He's of, how could we say, I don't know, sort of a bit higher standing. It's not quite the same as you might call it in Barnacle. We don't stand on illusions of royalty, so to say, for example. But no, he has some rather pressing responsibilities. But the time will come. We have the date set. That's the halfling way. Wait a year and a day. And if the love is true, it will last. If the flame is a true flame, the winds will only make it burn brighter.
Well, good for you. Perhaps we'll be there during that time and a year from now if this is still ongoing and we're not killed on Blackrock Isle. I'm sure that would never happen, but well, who can say?
If you don't mind, I'll have a try of that.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's been some time.
This is from the Fear Bogs. Yeah.
I've never got quite a handle on the Fearbolgs. Maybe it's their accent. I don't quite understand them when they speak, but they seem an interesting folk.
I was only recently introduced to this pure stuff by Aygir. He apparently knows someone, or he knows someone in their tribe who has very close connections.
Oh, I see. And she kind of has to put her hand down to steady herself.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a bit of a rush.
Yep.
I think just one will be enough for me.
It's probably for the best.
Everything's getting fuzzy and warm.
Mm-hmm. That really went to your head, I guess.
Yes.
Well, all right.
So she has a fit of giggling for a bit, and then she eases into a mild fuzzy state, and it is a mild hallucinogenic substance, especially for those who are not used to it. Those who've smoked it enough, it's not really a trip or anything. Just more of a, well, in your case, it's medicinal and calms down the racks.
Yeah, I was about to say, if I'm still in pain, I don't think the hallucinogens are going to really do it for me. So it just nulls the pain a little bit.
Laida, a minute after, says something which is maybe poetic or maybe mystical. An image has come to my mind's eye.
Oh.
The stone hydra has 5 mouths, each of obsidian teeth and a glittering black gullet. Choose carefully which one you face.
That is cryptic prophecy if I've ever heard any. And I don't hear it very often, but I would say that's what that is, yeah. So, yeah. Black Onyx Hydra, yeah.
I've become rather drowsy.
Well,
I think I'd better turn in.
I think that's good. I feel my back stiffening and my neck stiffening up, so I better try to get comfortable before the night is on me.
Hey, well, rest well. Take good care, Wallykos. I'll be seeing you on the morrow.
Thank you for your help, Laida. We'll talk again, I'm sure.
That we will.
So,
Earbugs. And she sees you out of the
Yeah.
room, shuts it, locks the door behind her.
I head back to the crew quarters and Adriel, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna live.
I'm glad that she could help you, Wallykos.
But who knows about tomorrow? So you better have my back next time, because damn, I'm not going anywhere alone where I think, oh, it's just a bar. No one gets shot in a bar.
These are dangerous times, Wallykos, and you know that I've always got your back if you need me. All you have to do is ask.
All right. Well, Adriel, have my back. All right.
I'll
he's
nod and
asking
take
you
another. Oh, you're asking me to like come with you?
What? What was
Or
that
were you-
saying? No,
Were you at?
I wasn't asking. I was just kind of
okay.
kind of like just very mellowed out, like
Yeah,
back. Like you asked me to have my back. Okay, have my back.
yeah, I got you. Yeah.
So, did Aygir and Vapor want to do anything before we rest? Because Wallykos is turning in.
Yes,
Vapor is probably. I actually would like to see if I can roll a Constitution check to see if Vapor's getting seasick. Because I'm surprised no one else has done this. Actually, that's not bad. So he might not be seasick.
I mean, would I
15.
get seasick if I'm on Grosheen? I don't know.
Yeah, see, no one else is thinking this. I'm the only one who's thinking this.
If Esper asks for it, I'll gladly roll.
Well, so
Vapor is fine.
Okay, then
You're
he's
going
probably
with
just up on deck enjoying the evening air. And
You're
Aygir
probably loving this sea breeze that's hitting you up on the.
well,
upper
being
deck.
an air Genasi, he's probably enjoying any sort of airflow across his skin.
You feel the freedom, the wild ocean breeze run across you, and maybe even for just a moment, you get a nostalgic feeling, a reminiscing of home. Is this intended to be a moment of Vapor alone, or are you there amongst whatever crew?
Who's ever up there? It's not. He's just kind of relaxing.
It's getting into nighttime, so it's going to be going down to just skeleton crew. But a halfling says to you, "Hey, watch your head where you're walking, tall one. You might knock yourself on one of these sail arms."
I will keep my head down, but I have no plan of knocking myself out on them.
And I hope you're not expecting any of us to go into that aisle with you all. That would be suicide.
I was not planning on dragging anyone of you along, unless you wish to willingly come along.
Oof. It's already precarious enough sailing under Maxwell. Well, you've heard of sea dogs before, eh?
A few times.
I'd call him a sea cat, a curious one. I don't know if he has 9 lives left. Probably not. Certainly missing a few of them.
So he seems to find trouble easily then.
So, actually, I'd like you to make a It needs to be a nature check. Make a knowledge of nature intelligence.
Okay, that's not the best. That's just gonna be a flat 9.
Okay. Actually, you have no idea what he just said. He might as well have just said gobble, blah, 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 blah. Whatever this like idiom it was. You don't even know what he was talking about.
You're going to need to speak Elvish if you want me to understand what you're saying.
I am speaking Elvish. You got wax in your ears, you daft.
I have no wax. I have only air.
He proceeds to explain to you what a cat is. A cat is a very exotic creature. This is
Okay.
not something that you just see, running up and down the city streets. Prized exotic pets from the capital realm. Evil things, chaotic to the core at that.
I see. Well,
A great
then I
job of
shall.
torturing. They appear like cute, beautiful little fluffy dumplings, I'd say. And then you get in near once they have allured you, and out they bear an array of sickles and slash you to shreds.
Then why has not a great hunt been called to kill them all?
Well, I don't know. Should we just go around killing everything? Ah,
Well, if they're as dangerous as you make them out to be, should we not?
I don't know.
Well, have you ever seen one?
Aygir, who at
I've
this
seen
point,
pictures of them. Large things. He
So-
stretches his hands out as far as he can.
at this point, Aygir, who's been walking and talking with Shaggy about the sort of essentially underslung net launcher he has built into a crossbow, it seems, is going to stroll by and kind of interject, well, because it wouldn't work. I don't know if these cats are like you described, but it sounds like you are talking about the cloud leopard, but in miniature. If you were to hunt a cloud leopard, you would not succeed in eliminating them all. They are predators, unknown, unseen in anywhere else besides outside the steppe.
Your sorts always are all the same. Just want to kill everything.
I never said
Kill
I
this,
was going
kill
to
that.
kill everything.
Skin the hide to take the
Well,
take the
cloud
loot from the
leopard's
den.
new hide is worth a good amount of gold if you get the right quality.
'Tis a fool who hunts for hide. 'Tis a smart man who would ride the great beast into battle, having raised it from a cub.
See,
being
there you
one
go,
with it.
talking of battle again. It all comes back to that, doesn't it?
Well, back in the old days, back when raiding was done, back when we were glorious.
I should have stayed a cheesemaker back on the flotilla.
Back in the time when songs were written of great deeds, and he might just sort of trail off into some incomprehensible, like half mumbling, half throat singing kind of cadence. Also, completely out of character. I'm hearing a little bit of an echo. Is someone's mic like right next to their speakers?
It might be mine.
I'm muted, so it can't be me.
Try it now.
Test. We good?
Okay, and then try it again now.
How about now? Yeah, there it is, a little bit.
Let me. I hope it doesn't mess anything up if I put these headphones on. So
It should be fine.
What about now? I'm
Oh,
not echoing.
yep,
I'm
no
not hearing
echo now.
anything. Sounds good.
everything sound good?
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody hears me? Okay. All right, let's roll with this. So these help cut out echo, but I don't like voice acting with them so much because I can't hear my own voice very well. They're like a noise
Right.
canceling thing.
You should get open back ear headphones.
Maybe I can just like halfway. There we go. I'll take it halfway off of an ear. Yeah.
You could also get like a mic that's on cardioid mode, so it sort of prioritizes what's right in front of it rather than all around it.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that what you got, Nick?
Oh yeah, it's a dynamic. Yeah, so it just like focuses my voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine's like actually a condenser studio mic. So
Yeah. Well, condensers aren't bad mics. It's just like depends on the purpose and what you want out of your mic. You know.
So meanwhile, in MIRRORMOURN, though,
talk of strange gear and equipment. Don't need any of that. Just a nice, good canvas to patch up the sails. A bit of rope. Maybe some salted fish in a barrel. Tar. Don't forget the tar and some nails.
Well, yes, I'm sure that is fine for a ship, but again, a Xena...
Magical baubles and slaying exotic creatures wherever you go. Battle and bloodlust. Bah!
You do not slay the creatures. You farm the Xena. The Xena, the herds, you travel with them. You drink their milk, you ferment it. You be one with the Xena. You revere the cloud leopard. The Xena is a mount. The cloud leopard is the beast of great warrior kings back in the olden days. Say... Shaggy, have you ever been out that way, or are you more of a mainlander, more of an Easterner?
I like the water.
You should travel there sometime. The steppe is like a sea, where the whole land of mist is the ocean. And rising up out of it are the great islands of stone, where dwell our kind and our kind's version of Hugelot. And he looks down at the halfling.
I like the water.
Think you would change your tune if you'd ever had a haunch of roasted Xena from a Tonor, or a great big clay pot of rice. If you heard strings being plucked and you heard galloping hooves.
Come on ship and meet me on ship. I sail there.
Over by the mist curtain. That's what it's called, right? The mist curtain? Mist wall. The thing over at the far west. Steam curtain. The steam curtain, sorry.
Steam curtain.
Yes, over by the steam curtain. There are ports over there. Say, Vapor, isn't that where you are from?
Yes, as you know, I'm from that area. Grew up among those curtains of geysers and steam.
Bet the weather there is
very dangerous
humid this time of year.
Steam curtain. But we maybe go to the bay. You meet by ship? Yes.
Well, yes, but if you were to go to really go to the land of the Tonors and the Xenas, the peoples of the Cloud Leopard and their descendants under the great sky, you must go inland a bit to the east. But you know, there is steam, there is mist. It is like you are on water, riding on the great ships of the steppe at the back of a Xena, with the herds, with the riders, with the cavalry.
So you continue to describe all this. You notice his hands get real antsy.
Right.
And the halfling nearby says, "You're scaring him, all right? Would you stop with all that description of the..."
All right. Anyway, so what sort of weights do you use on your nets for that thing? Are they lead or are they bronze?
We've got lead, we've got bronze, we've got rusty old scraps of iron. Some rocks. What else? Petrapod, anything that...
I think I was actually talking to the one who made the thing, you know, the one with the mechanical know-how. The strong silent type to your left.
Oh, I thought you was talking about the ropes that we use here for fishing.
No, you, Shaggy.
Oh, no.
Once again, talking about your creation.
Shaggy looks at you.
What kind of weights do you use on the net?
Lead.
Solid, very solid. Bit soft, but solid. It's the job done.
I watch and look when we get close to Blackrock Isle.
So you will not come ashore with us?
Things in the waters there.
Well, if you will not come ashore, then at least maybe you can be a lookout who can keep watch with that thing and deal with any threats that we will not see.
Yes. Yeah. Count on me.
Good. You seem to have an idea, though, about unseen threats in the water. Is this something we should know about?
They say many creatures
Many creatures in this place.
Of what sorts?
Tentacle things in the waters.
Tentacles are for roasting over a fire or grilling
Yeah.
on coals. Tentacles are not for fighting, hopefully.
Yes.
I
I
like
hope.
not the sound of that.
I hope. You're not going to see me up on the upper deck when we get into those waters. I'm not going to get pulled over by some tentacle. No.
Well, it's perhaps good you stay out of the way then.
We put crew down below when we get close.
So it'll just be
These-
you and us? Or
these
with Maxwell?
ones. Yes. And me and Maxwell. Troublefield. Laida, maybe. I need to make more bolts.
Well,
He just says that and walks up.
Oh, Aygir, I think that's something that you could give him a hand with. If you're done trying to drag him along and scare him.
oh, it's like you
You don't much
try and
like the land at
scare
all.
people with
In
your-
fact, it rather terrifies him.
I'm sure he'll come around one of these
Feels
days.
like a fly in a spider's web, it seems.
He needs to know the steppe is like the sea. It is something I have known. This is why I am. Well, I feel strange upon a ship, but it's a familiar strange. The constant moving up and down. It's almost like riding a Xena. A very big, hard, wooden, strange, cold Xena. And wet.
I see. Well, why don't you write that into a poem?
Well, I could, I suppose. And he
That'll
continues.
do it for me. Good night.
He continues trailing off and mumbling and halfway throat singing his way through a verse that he is by no means any kind of bard, so probably doesn't even rhyme or alliterate or work.
So maybe there is a poem in you after all. We shall see.
With his 7 charisma, maybe there is, but it's not very good. Anyway, that'll probably be it for him for tonight.
Vapor will probably go find a place to crash. Try to get one of the upper bunks if possible.
All right. I'm going to speed things along. You all travel by the ship soonest for some 2 days' time, making as swift a navigation as possible. The crew is a bit tense. There's mixed opinions that you hear mumbled back and forth. It is really Maxwell's the one who is ever in higher and higher spirits as you get closer. It seems that the thrill and the excitement of adventure and even of danger puts him into a state of hyper focus. Now, before we actually get into the, let's say, coastal waters of Blackrock Isle, is there any kind of preparations or anything that you all want to do beforehand?
Well,
Wallykos, you've recovered from the worst of the injury. It's now just a sore, scabby, scarring bit on your back.
and yeah, it was definitely a rough night at first when he leveled up and got his ability score increases, if you will. But he seems to be back on his feet now,
Mhm.
and he seems to be, to all appearances, as right as rain. Like if he's feeling anything, he's covering it well.
Nice. So, yes, you hit level 4. Always a nice level to hit.
Yeah.
What did you select for ability scores?
Unfortunately,
Sounds like
I had
you're
to
going
go.
with the...
Yeah, I had to go pretty boring, and I just increased my dex from 18 to 20. Because,
Doesn't sound boring to me.
yeah. I was like,
Your
there's,
main ability score is improving many, many things that you do.
I was so tempted to take a feat, though. It's just so hard when it just gives you the thing on the feet, but I don't increase my damage, my AC, my other things.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. So
What about rolling for hit points?
I have not rolled for hit points. I waited. So it's a D8, D10, D8. It's got to be a
D8?
D8. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's find a D8. Here we go. All right, that's a 2. So 2 plus whatever.
My house rule will give you a 4 on the die.
All right, 4 plus whatever. I'll
Yeah,
take
that's
it.
you can either take the average rounded up, or you can roll, but the lowest
Well-
you can roll is the average rounded down.
I've rolled I think I rolled max or like one off max every time I've rolled so far. So even rolling an average roll, I'm still above average for
Okay.
if I had taken just averages.
Yeah, the house rule just prevents
Me
I don't
from
know.
being too ridiculously
a barbarian from rolling a 1 on a d12.
barbarian that just has like sickly limbs, he's
Yeah.
shaking.
That and my campaigns are a little more towards the open ended, and you can get into some really dangerous stuff. So you need the hit points. All right. What else was I going to ask? I think that's it. Your serendipitous encounter refreshes. We could think of it that way. You can do it once per level.
Yes. Almost as if we planned it.
Anything else before we get into the actual island approach?
No, I didn't change my wonders for now. I think I'm just gonna keep them as is. I don't get a new wonder this level, so we'll just go from there.
Okay, so Maxwell rouses you all, maybe like the morning of the third day, and says, want to let you know we're coming up on the island. I'd appreciate it if you get on deck. We'll need every pair of eyes that we can.
Agreed. What side are we approaching the island from, Captain? I mean, I assume it's the closest, but I don't know where
Straight
the
ahead.
winds and such come. Do you see anywhere for where we can land, or that's what we're going to go see right now?
It's too far off to see that, but from what I understand, it does have some small beaches. As we spoke of before, I'm not going to take Soonest up too close to it. There's
Give us a
known to be
rowboat. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll spare you a rowboat. You can take that or your way there. But watch out, all right? There's known to be sharp, jagged obsidian reefs.
Obsidian reefs. I don't
Hey,
suppose that reef would be...
I don't make up the names. It's just
No,
what they're called.
are any of the reefs called a hydra by any chance, or could it be thought of?
Not that I've ever heard of.
All right, fair enough.
Hydra.
5 heads. All right. Well, it'll make sense soon, I'm sure.
Maybe if it has 5 mouths, it could be like a river delta or something.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like
Yeah.
the hydra is going to be like the reef or the mouths, or we'll figure it out.
Right. Yeah.
It'll all make sense when it's meant to, not a moment sooner.
Yep.
It might be, but I'm always very cautious about this prophetic mumbo jumbo. It's easy to misinterpret and get yourself killed.
That prophetic mumbo jumbo, sir, is Laida's mumbo jumbo, and I'll put stock in it if I choose to. So
Hey,
I'm sure you put stock in her.
I keep Laida around and I pay her well, and I'm glad for it.
Yeah.
But I ain't paying her for prophecy. I'm paying her for healing spells, chronicling, and from time to time she has a song or two.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe we'll bring you back some interesting treasure that
He starts to turn, and then he turns back to you and puts a hand here, gets close in. Hey, you haven't tried anything funny with her, have you?
I failed to see how that's any business of yours.
Everything on my ship's business of mine. And I make sure that she is under my good graces and under my protection at all times.
And if she has anything, you should ask her then. If there's anything there. She, don't
Hadn't
you?
hadn't heard anything, but I figured I would just check.
Well, I'm telling you that everything is fine.
Captain, get up here!
All right.
What could that be? So you all go up to the upper decks, and there's this lookout there at the prow of the ship. Blackrock Isle is approaching on the horizon. You can see it pretty far in the distance because it has this jagged mountainous type shape to it. It rises up pretty high. Another thing, which is what the crew member was wanting to alert his attention to, is that there is this dark system of clouds overhead that just looms overhead of Blackrock Isle. And from a distance, you even see the sunlight is being dissipated. It's like it casts a shadow over the island itself.
It's hazy.
These low-hanging, really dark ashen type clouds. You don't see any wisps of smoke that would indicate active volcanoes. So that's good, maybe. And
fallout. Yeah.
you'll be coming up on the island in an hour or less. He's going to be pulling in the sails and dropping anchor once you get within a certain proximity.
I'd like to caution him. There may be someone else coming to the isle, and they may already
spoke
be
of
there.
These rivals of yours.
Good. I wanted to make sure. I didn't remember if we had or not warned you, but I'm not going to have you sit
Just
out
what
here.
I need, more enemies.
Yeah.
Lurking around behind my back.
If you see anything on the horizon, it's okay to go and come back. Let them land if you can. But if you can signal us in any way,
you think they'd be chasing me?
They wouldn't chase you, most likely. Probably not. I mean,
got a
so
fast
long as
ship.
yeah.
But
I mean, obviously come back for us, but don't stick around and get attacked by them. Is what I'm saying.
Hey, I'm no fan of getting shot at any more than you are.
Yeah, this is between the two of our groups who seek the same prize, and we'll settle it on Blackrock Isle.
I have half a mind to go with you, but
your crew needs you.
I don't know.
Your place is on your ship.
I wouldn't feel right just leaving the crew behind in a place like this. This is a forlorn, misbegotten region.
Well,
I've asked already enough of them just coming here.
Well, Captain, I don't think this is the last. Hopefully, this isn't the last time that we'll be coming here, because we're sure as hell not exploring the whole island today.
Sure. Well,
so
yeah, you better be back. We have a deal to work out, and the
like
next one to make after this.
Maybe we'll find something very valuable that we can help settle some of your debt in exchange for, continuing our deal. And
I like the sound of it, but I want to see something materialize before I get my hopes up too much. I've heard tall talk before.
All right, get us closer to the island, and we'll see.
Are we just looking out for the first beach that we can find and letting you loose?
Let's see it in the distance. I wanna see where what the risk is before we set to water. Set the boat in the water.
So the ship continues on ahead at the command of Captain Maxwell, and you come within, some short range distance, half a mile or so, maybe out. The island is a good sized island. It's not as big as Barnacle Island, but it's definitely got some decent amount of area to it. From the direction that you have approached, I might as well just put the map back up, right? Why not? Your characters have this map, and you can kind of figure things out as you have navigated. So you've come to, maybe around in this area, and you are seeing this bay or inlet, and there does seem to be a beach in there.
Okay. Does it look like there's any obstacles, poking out bits of obsidian, between shoreline in there? Anything above water that we can spot?
You can make a perception check. Others are going to make it too. I'm going to roll one for Maxwell. Gosh, there's like Maxwell, there's Troublefield, the scout, there's the crew. I'll just do two. I'll do one that like represents the named NPCs and one that represents the crew. I'll just kind of generalize it together.
17.
Okay, so both you and the crew spot subtle indications of the tops of what they're calling obsidian reef. It's probably not reef in the proper sense of the word reef, but there are these obsidian growths that are sharp, jagged, and very dangerous. You do see the tops of a couple of them, not a lot, but you imagine there's something lurking beneath the waves. Another thing that you spot is a shipwreck. There's a larger ship, something like the size of a galley. It has like just tatters left of its sails, and it's pretty close to the coastline. Looks like it's been sitting there in its demise for some time. Doesn't look like a recent shipwreck.
That was the important info. Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's the first beach we've seen. If you want to try to put ashore there, go for it.
You say it's a galley. Was it like a war galley, all narrow, built for speed, or was it like a wider kind of cargo thing? Does it look like, this was a ship that was meant to go a long distance, or like it was probably full of a bunch of tough warrior types who came here to try and fight the place?
I was about to say, remember what happened.
Looks like a ship. You might call it a war galley, or a ship that would be bearing soldiers or treasure hunters or an expedition crew. It looks to be of elven crafting.
Okay, so in other words, definitely more recent. I mean, that was 100 years ago. I don't know what would be left of it, but definitely more recent than the elves actually taking this place over from the giants.
Most definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, just looking at it, I don't know, some number of years, but not decades and decades.
Well, I guess we know what happens to most people who come here.
I'm a little bit hesitant to just take the first beach that we see, especially seeing those spikes. We're gonna have to navigate them carefully, or end up like that wreck there.
Well, at least we know one way not to go.
Do you want to look a little bit farther?
I think we should look a little bit further, just so we at least have an option of, do we head back to the other one, or do we find a better, port?
Okay.
So
let's also bear in mind, though, that I don't think we want to go ashore as the sun is setting.
I mean, we'll just find a place to port, and then we'll decide when.
All right. Does it matter to you if we head west over the top or south?
So my inclination is from where Bale Vonder's base was. That's more to the east, right?
So like somewhere in this region.
Oh, it's in that region. Then I think we should actually go west. My logic being, we want to find either where they're going to most likely set, or where they have already set down. If we find that, we'll have a much better chance of encountering them, rather than crossing the island to get to them.
Mm-hmm. You all.
That's assuming they didn't just, sail around.
You're not wrong. I feel that they might be like, we got to get the prize.
If it's the shortest distance, yeah, that makes sense.
You all head around westward, going around the northern side of Blackrock Isle.
Yep. Keeping the distance from the shore, so there's no unpleasantness.
Why don't you go ahead and do the perception checks again?
Yeah.
Since this is a whole new area.
13.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, sure. I'll be, since Aygir was talking with him then, I'll be up there on the deck looking around as well.
Yep, I'll also do it.
I mean, what else are you going to do?
Well, what a better way to open this than with a 20 on that die.
You said it's perception, right?
In total, I have a 23.
That's a good check.
Oh, I got a 16.
Not bad.
What a failure. No, I'm just kidding. That's a good check.
All right, so nobody notices any indications of the obsidian reef here on the northern beach, let's call it. By the way, the beaches have this black sand that glitters whenever any amount of sunlight or indirect sunlight hits it.
Almost like it's made of little bits of obsidian that have been tumbled by the waves.
Mm-hmm. You also notice, and it's not just here where you're at, but you've noticed this as you've been skirting around the island. There are these geyser things that shoot up out of the water from time to time. There's even a slight wafting smell of like a sulfur smell coming from the island. This northern side of the beach, northern side of the island beach, actually does not. No one notices, including Aygir with his really high roll. No one notices any indication of obsidian reef, and the geyser activity here is quite mild.
I was going to say, a natural 20 is still an automatic success, right?
Just on attack rolls.
Oh, okay, that's right. It doesn't auto succeed on other checks. I thought it
Nat
did.
20, Nat 1 are only
Okay.
for attack rolls. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
You all see there are these, what I'd call tall volcanic rock formations, not in the water necessarily, but really on the beach itself. And they just kind of rise up out of the sand. The beach is not incredibly, how would I say this? It doesn't go inland all that far before it hits this kind of mounting up rocky terrain and then these taller cliffs beyond. You notice that.
Insanity.
Yeah, the cliffs of insanity. So that seems to be pretty typical. The island rises up pretty high. So any beach that it seems you're finding is just going to go in a ways, and then it mounts up to these cliffs. So I guess long story short, it seems like an easier to access beach here. Just the sand and these like big volcanic rock formations. I feel though I should say something to Aygir since he rolled so high on that perception check. You notice no one else saw this, just you. For just, here and there, you catch little glimpses of there's some creature amongst those giant rock formations. And it's a big creature too, like a giant sized thing. Maybe a big crab or big beast. Or there's some creature there that seems to be dwelling upon that.
They call
beach.
him Kong.
Well, I can't quite tell. But there's something moving around there, something big. If we are to land here, we should be prepared to deal with. There it was again. What is it? It's not a crab. It's
Don't see anything,
something.
but if you say it's there, I'll take your word for it.
It's there. It's moving. Is it following us? Is it following us? Out of character, is it following us?
No,
Yeah.
it's dwelling amongst the
it
rock
probably
formations
lives
of the
in
beach.
that particular region of the
Yes.
island. Yeah.
It's not following us. It's around. We should be
So
cautious.
if we go to the Cliffs of Insanity, know that there's something gigantic and monstrous that lives there, layers there, perhaps. Yeah. Well, let's keep on sailing. I think
don't
there's
know.
Still...
I would avoid that if I were you, but
I said
maybe
that's
such things are unavoidable in a place like this.
And yet I wonder what it is. And some part of me is just...
We'll go back
No.
later, Aygir. That'll be the second visit. And by the
Uh.
second visit, I mean like whenever I feel.
Well, I don't have a death wish, so I'm inclined to agree with you this time.
I'm sure that.
All right, well, if you want to keep on
yeah.
with this circuit, why don't we keep going?
There is that, like if you imagine this to almost be a very tiny stylized version of Italy, over near where Genoa would be, like on the western side of the north, there's that sort of other inlet or bay,
Uh-huh.
maybe? I don't know if that's a natural harbor.
All right. So you all notice a third beach. It's here. As I described before, has this glittering black sands, goes in just a little ways, and then the rocky terrain starts to rise up, and then it hits these oops, it hits these cliffs jutting up, which the bulk of the island is rather high in elevation. Go ahead with perception checks if you're so inclined.
Doubt an 8's going to see anything.
15.
You said perception?
Mm-hmm.
It's a
22?
good session for rolls for me. I have a
Yeah.
19 on that.
Adriel and the crew and Aygir as well have spotted.
I'm sorry,
something.
it's a 19. I don't know if that changed. My bad.
Nope, that's fine. So again, I'll say what everyone sees, and then I'll say what the three of you noticed with your extra high rolls. No one notices any dangerous obsidian reefs with this beach. This beach actually has a number of scrub thickets that are growing throughout it, going all the way up to the cliffs. Aygir, Adriel, and a couple of the crewmen on lookout see a dark shape of a huge tentacled creature lurking under the water not far from the beach.
Well, I would say this would be the place. You see, there's even some, if you could call those trees. I don't know that I frankly could, but you do see that, do you not?
Oh, I definitely see that high again. I don't like what I see.
It doesn't look like it's roasting on a street grill. It looks
No, not
very,
at all.
very big.
Looks like it wants to roast us on a street grill.
I don't think it has a concept of roasting. I don't know that many animals do, but you're welcome to think that if you'd like.
It could breathe fire.
Makes it less scary. So
Let's keep sailing for the moment. I mean, worst case, we
Maxwell's
circle the whole-
already like,
Yeah.
no, he's like, go,
Yeah.
go.
just make sure
we're
it
not-
doesn't follow us.
Well, if it
You
does,
watch, and
you're
it does
crossing.
not follow. It seems content just to be,
Lurking.
there, and whatever is it dwelling there? Is it eating something? That who knows? You get away from it.
Been trained.
You continue around for some time. You're in well into afternoon now, and there is a fourth beach that you spot, and I'm going to tell you something about it. This is the widest beach that you've seen so far, or maybe you'd just say the largest beach that you've seen yet. Again, same thing as before. Black sands, goes in for a ways, gets rocky, turns into cliffs. There is this, subtly foul sulfurous smell that hangs in the air. You see the geysers here and there amidst different parts of the coast. There are also these little creatures called wave skimmers. I don't know if they quite come out this far, but they're these insect things that are like maybe a few feet long, like these long tasseled fly or dragonfly looking, mayfly looking thingies. And they go and they lay their eggs in the water, and they prey upon little fish and stuff out of the water. They don't bother you. They're not like a giant mosquito or anything, but there is signs of life here.
Well, no mystery shapes, no shipwrecks, no octopods. It's
There
getting
are,
late. If we
once
have to
again,
go
those
ashore here,
tall volcanic rock formations jutting up out of the beach here, similar to what you'd seen on the north end beach.
seems as good a place as any. And like I said, none of the aforementioned. It's getting late. We should not waste any more time. If this is
Is it
going to be
getting
where I
late?
should go ashore.
Yeah, if you're wanting to beat these others to the ruin,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to make a decision pretty quick here.
Well, I mean, have we?
And I'm fine to keep circling around.
Esper, just as a question to you, like, have we seen any signs of their ship on the passage on this side of the island? Like,
Mhm.
when I say this side of the island, we've circled half the island.
Right.
No signs of them.
Okay.
Not that you've seen.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, I say we go ashore. I think we're here ahead of them, honestly. But
Unless they landed at, that little last inlet down there on the bottom of it. But
yeah, I mean, like, they could have, but that'd be kind of weird.
it seems like this is probably the most logical place, actually.
Yeah.
If
So
if they
apparently
did
the
what we did.
Citadel is like, right at the heart of the
Right.
island.
Right. So this is probably
the closest.
Yeah. Except
Either
for
that
maybe
or
the
the
first
little, the little indent on the other side.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It just at a glance on your map, it's seems like one of the closer entry points.
Well, let's see if this is a horrible mistake or not. Let's do it.
Did anyone want to roll perception checks? I already rolled for the crew and
Yes.
I didn't hear an
Vapor
answer.
got a 13.
Okay.
We're doing another perception check.
Yeah.
If you want to.
Unnatural 20. Esper.
My goodwill has run out with that.
I got an 18.
I got a 7.
Adriel and Wallykos, you see a creature that is similar to what Aygir spotted on the northern beach.
So the
A
thing that
rather
we didn't
big something, maybe bestial. It's not like a humanoid thing walking around, a creature, and it's there. You see like part of a crustacean type arm, and it's like scraping upon one of these big tall rock formations.
Okay.
And then it moves away, and you can even see an indication of how it's disrupted the sand and pebbles of the ground.
All right. Well, there's clearly another one of those monsters here. I can point it out to you, and you can tell me if you've seen that. But it's basically, yeah. I don't think this is the safe place to land either. Now, that being said, Esper's pretty heavily implied that it's not a good idea. So I
Time
think
is
we should keep
of
going.
the essence. You say it's things like I saw. Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know. You tell me. It has a claw and it's doing like this scratching thing, and it's like gigantic.
Scratching. Perhaps it is feeding on that, and in other words, not on us. And if we don't disturb it,
You're grasping straws. We don't know what it feeds on.
well, you're going to have us land after dark, and if it's nighttime, I'm not going ashore
Why-
until the sun rises again.
Yeah,
So
why are we landing after dark? Like, I
Yeah,
was of the opinion that we were
think
going
that-
in the morning.
I think it might be best to land in the morning when we can see more things more
Now,
easily.
I understand that there's some misconception here that they may have landed and are going to beat us there. But there's no evidence of that we've seen. As
Well,
far as,
that's
as far as
fair. I just didn't realize it was your plan to spend the whole day sailing around.
Oh
But-
yeah, please. Oh well, if you have a good plan on how to fight that thing, and win, certainly, please present it.
Well, I don't really know what it is, so I'm not sure it would be a fight. It could be something we could avoid. But
Alright,
yes, if the plan is just to land tomorrow, then by all means, let us check out the
You seem
remaining.
want to grumble about my ideas, but you don't have a better one, so let's go ahead.
You're breaking up, man.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this in meta terms. Time is definitely of the essence with this adventure. It's
Right.
not but they won't. X thing won't happen until we get to X plot point and trigger. No,
Right. Right.
but that's
Well,
all I will say. That's all I
You,
will
you ask of better ideas. I would have landed at the shipwreck beach if I were captain. It seems like there was a way to know which way not to go, and we could
Hey
have
guys, I need a mic check. Mic check.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I get that, but it's either.
Well, hey, this is your silver piece. So if you
I mean,
want me to
our
give you the
character-
rowboat here, just say the word. If not, we'll continue the circuit.
Out of character, I'm more than happy to just check out all the possible landing points. That's a logical thing to do. In character, Aygir's getting antsy just because of the timing.
I'm kind of annoyed that we
Just
meta that it's running out. I get that, but don't tell me that. I want
just
to,
out of curiosity, did Wallykos tell us about that weird prophetic thing about the 5-headed Hedra?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, then I'm gonna shut up then.
Yeah. So the we're at this inlet, and basically even to go back to any of the others would take too long, is what's being said. So
Right.
I don't. Here's my opinion: getting ourselves killed because we're trying to rush is stupid. I'd rather have them get themselves killed because they're trying to rush, and we'll come along and collect the remains. Fight them when they're getting out of the temple, ready to get off the island.
Well,
Yeah,
there's the
I'm of the
alternative.
same mind. There's no point in rushing in because so far, the 4 beaches we've seen, there is a reef, some sort of tentacle creature, and then these 2 giant creatures we don't know exactly what they are. So there might be a 5th beach we have yet to see, but this is now metagaming here. That could be it.
Well, let's keep going.
But I'm of the mind, let's keep searching. Let's see if they're here yet.
If the plan is to land tomorrow, if we've truly arrived before them, then it does seem the plan is to find whichever would be the best place for them to land and anticipate them so that we can perhaps ambush them or at least watch them meet their demise. So
I have
know
no
which way to
idea
go.
where this mysterious meta time limit is coming from. All that we have is the word of my ex-mentor or whatever guy, and his information could be wrong. Like I just feel like we're putting a lot of faith that they're gonna beat us to this if we don't act now. So I say let's sail around the island, find the best spot, and put down. If
We are
put
going on
down-
the information of your so-called mentor, so if you suspect that is not right, then
well,
I do not know quite what we are doing here in the first place.
it's not that it's wrong. It's just that we can't just jump and react. We have to make a decision intelligently, and I think that there's still a better option than what we've seen.
Let's go for it then. Maxwell gives the orders to the crew.
Yeah.
And you continue to sail.
Yep.
This southern peninsula, let's call it, is like a long jaunt to get down there, and you round it. And indeed, there is a 5th and final beach. What can I tell you about it?
It has another rowboat sitting there on the beach.
No. There's nothing obvious that stands out about this one. Of course, you can roll the perception checks, and
Perception.
I'll roll it for the NPCs, but
I
you
will
don't
do
notice
perception.
any particular hazards.
21.
Oh, I got a 7. That's my first bad one.
Aygir with a 15.
17 for Vapor.
See, when I roll bad, you guys roll high. And
All right, those are all pretty good. It's a less wide beach than the others, but still it would suffice. It's as I described before with the sands and then the cliffs beyond that. You don't notice any particular hazards. You don't notice creatures or sharp obsidian formations lurking just beneath the surface of the waves.
it's
It
also
does seem
just away from the center of the island.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm down for putting here, and we'll trek it overland. And the thing is, at least once we got our feet on the ground, we can fall back. We have options of running away.
Yeah.
That's why I look at it. And more ground to run over is more options tactically.
Yeah. Out of character, this all makes very total sense.
I'll have the guys start to get the rowboat ready to launch.
We're doing this in the morning, or are we doing? Is he like trying to set us out?
It's up to you. At the moment, it's like a late afternoon or early evening. You still got a few hours before the sun sets.
All right. Well, I don't think we have who's got dark vision, who doesn't. I don't think any.
I don't have dark vision.
Vapor does not have it, but I do have a spell that gives it to me.
Just you.
Yeah, it's a level 2 spell though.
Yeah.
So it's not something I would
It's
want to
a
use
fifth
unless
edition-
it's I have no other. Not for Genasi.
It's a 5th edition
Um,
party where the Hobgoblin is the only one, the only character
Mhm.
with Dark Vision. Interesting.
That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
Wait, elves don't have dark vision?
Elves
Oh, they-
do, but no one
Elves,
in the
no,
party
elves,
is an-
elves have dark
no one in
vision.
the party is
Yeah.
mechanically an elf.
Right.
Wallykos is narratively an elf, but mechanically the satyr.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all muddled lineage.
And
Uh,
Genasi are Fey-touched elves in this setting, and humans are like half elf and half dwarf.
I propose
So-
that even though I know out of game it's like, oh no, we're gonna miss it. I think that we wait till morning, because if we try to go at night, I think we're just gonna get ourselves in a bad situation. That
Well,
we don't.
yeah, in character, Aygir agrees with that. He was saying that all along, that he's not landing at night.
I'd rather do the slow and steady and have a possible chance of failing than a sure chance of failing if we try to rush. Is kind of how I look at it.
Well, and if we can't even see large things moving around very well behind rocks in the daytime, at night.
At night, with no dark vision, torches that would be lighting us up to everything.
Exactly.
That'll make a long trek overland first light.
Right.
Like I'll even start before first light. If we land and we start moving in the dark and it gets lighter as we move, I'm okay with that.
Right. Although that said, perhaps a couple of times during the night, Aygir with his dark vision might just try and see if he can see something, perhaps, I guess, through a spyglass.
Your dark vision is only 60 feet.
I know, that's why I said perhaps through a spyglass, because he can't see that far without
Dark vision.
need of
I
something.
think dark vision is a fixed.
It's
You're
within 60
robotic.
feet of you.
If you could cheat it that way, then everyone would get like
Yeah,
glasses
true. That's
that
true.
magnify their vision.
Yeah.
That's within 60 feet of you. Okay.
Anyway.
So it sounds like you're going to bide your time for the rest of the day and night,
I
and
suggest
then
you get up at
launch the
like
rowboat like first thing.
5 a.m., 6 a.m. Something before the dawn.
Okay. Yeah, right at the crack of dawn, you're already paddling your way there.
We already kind of scouted out. It doesn't look like bad reefs, so we've got a course in our mind, and we'll stay to it.
Okay. So they take in the sails, they drop anchor, and they eat, drink, and make merry. They eat, smoke, and make merry, but they don't overdo it. And Maxwell's like, hey, easy on the smoke over there, all right? I don't want any of you all getting cloudy headed at a place like this.
So speaking of clouds and weather, what color is the sky in the morning?
It's not morning yet.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, my dear intrepid adventurer.
Well, then what color-
Well, then let's rephrase the question.
What
Do
color
we
is
have
the
a red
sky
sky
at
at night?
There you go. Because then we're fine. And nothing bad can happen to us, right?
Is this supposed
Supposedly.
to be like a storm kind of thing?
Sure. So
I'm not quite sure how the super
the sun sets, and of course sets the sky ablaze, and it doesn't make any weird alien colors here. No, it's a normal sunset colors. After a fashion, you could say beautiful. The sky is rather overcast. There's these like looming dark clouds that seem to perpetually hover over Blackrock Isle. Aside from that, just the actual sky overhead has a decent amount of clouds to it. Here and there, you catch a glimpse of the two moons making their way through the sky. The small moon that goes in a slow orbit and the large moon that goes in a fast orbit. And they're in a kind of waning crescent shape. So it's actually quite dim. And they've got these covered lanterns set for
So it's one of the
illumination
times
on
of year-
on the ship.
It's that time of year where they're actually, or specific time where they're both in the same phase.
Yep. Yeah, you're seeing them both in this shrinking down, waning crescent phase. Overnight, there is an occurrence, and I'm trying to decide who would be on the upper deck. Are any of you all participating in the watch?
So my thought was we get sleep so that we could get up extra early
Mm-hmm.
So we would go to bed extra early and just, get up, ready to go.
Yeah. Okay. So you all are resting as much as you can, not messing around with other side activities.
Crew. I assume their checks will work.
Maxwell, Troublefield, Laida, Shaggy. They're up there, and maybe like 2 crewmen who have the stones for it, and they're keeping an overnight watch.
Right. I imagine if there were multiple watches, we'd probably be getting up and coming onto deck while the last watch is still there, right?
So this occurs in the dead of night. There's shouting from the upper deck, and there's some kind of ruckus happening up there. Why don't you all make perception checks with disadvantage?
With disadvantage?
For being asleep.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I still got pretty good. I got a 17 with disadvantage.
I also got a 17 with disadvantage.
I got a rock. I got a 5. So whether or not he was perceptive, which he wasn't, he would probably be. I guess he decided for some reason not to sleep in his armor. Not that he necessarily would normally anyway, but he'll be.
I think it's
that on
assumed that
slowly.
no one sleeps in medium or heavy armor.
Yeah.
So you're all asleep.
Boy. I get to sleep in my light armor, so we'll take that.
You're all asleep. What's that?
I don't wear armor.
Oh, wow, aren't you special?
I don't wear armor either.
I have an AC of 19 now.
Woo.
Yeah.
Adriel and Wallykos, you are awoken in the dead of night, and you hear the muffled sound of shouting from atop deck. You hear, footsteps and boots of people, moving about up there. There's some kind of ruckus.
Jump up and run upstairs, shout at Adriel. I imagine I'd shout something like, hey, something's going on deck, and maybe that'll wake up Vapor, or at least kind of jar them so they can start getting up.
I'll run on and say, I heard the same thing. Everyone, I get Vapor, hurry up. Get yourselves up if you're not up already.
Okay, so in my mind, Adriel gets up there first, and Wallykos quickly kicks Aygir and Vapor and shouts, and then is behind Adriel.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to kick them and shout that. I was just going to yell something.
Okay, did you want to get up there first then?
I wanted to get up there.
Okay.
It
actually doesn't matter. It doesn't matter too much. So both Wallykos and Adriel, you take the ladder and through the hatch, and you get onto the open deck, and there's an aftermath of something happening. You see Maxwell, Troublefield, and Shaggy with their ranged weapons, and they're actually leaning over the gun whale, and they're still firing into the water, and they're cursing under their breath, damn you, and they all kinds of obscenities, and they're very enraged. I
run over to see what's going on, and I'm like, what happened?
Everything all right up here?
Something grabbed Peter.
Where? Show me.
And they they are clearly frustrated, and they go to the other side, and they go look over there. I don't see it. It's not over here either.
Can we make perception checks, Esper?
Yeah, that'd be pretty useful.
Shaggy says,
Tentacle. I shot it with 2 bolts. Took Peter down below.
Esper, can we try to find it using any sort of perception?
Make perception checks with disadvantage.
With disadvantage?
It's quite dark out there.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah, I got a 7 this time.
Nope, I got a 4. All right. Well, I spend time looking, and if I could see it, I could do something, but unfortunately, that's
Let's
everyone.
We have to get away from this island. I know that you're wanting to leave early as you can. We're going to take her out a couple miles, and we'll try to get her back in right before dawn. But as much distance as I can manage to get between us and that island.
What time is it right now? Because I don't.
It's a dead of night.
I'd rather land and stay on the shore. I'm not going to risk us leaving the shore. We're here right now.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
going
just
to go rowing there now, just after this thing attacked.
I mean, it's welcome to try again if it wants to.
We put easily half a dozen crossbow bolts into it, but
Okay.
I don't see any corpse floating in the water there.
Well, if I even see it, I'm sure we can do something about it.
It seemed quite big. It could probably overturn the rowboat.
It might, but we'll have to see. I mean, what will it be any better in the morning? Like, I don't know. It's got someone now. It may have dragged it off wherever.
And we saw it under the water in the morning as well, so it doesn't seem like it really cares whether it attacks at night or in the morning.
Well, that was on the other side of the island.
Oh, was that on the other side? Oh well.
Yeah.
Still, my point still
It might be the
stands,
same
though.
thing. It might have followed us. I don't know.
Yep.
No one noticed that it had followed you. No one, even with those good perception checks, you didn't see that anything had followed you.
I was
But
gonna say,
I mean, you can't see all the way through the water, so
Yeah.
I think it's best for us just to try and get to the shore now, like Wallykos says.
I would rather risk that because it's the same now as it will be in a, later. Only now it may have taken its food and gone. No offense to your fallen.
and injured.
Well, and that way,
We'll get the rowboat launched for you.
you can still enact your plan of leaving and coming back.
Yeah,
later.
come on, let's do it. I don't want to waste any time.
All right.
So they put a hustle on. Aygir and Vapor get woken up. They launch the rowboat. You all climb down a rope ladder into it. There's oars for the lot of you.
Assuming Aygir and Vapor, you guys are cool with it.
Vapor thinks this is idiotic to go at night where he can't see anything without needing to use magic, and he'd rather not burn a spell for this.
Do you have a light cantrip?
I imagine that when
Nope.
we get it, I imagine as we're
Artificer,
getting
light, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do have the light cantrip.
There
yeah,
go.
you could put light on like a stick or something, and then we can put it in the boat. Have like a little lantern.
Yeah, Aygir. I mean, he's obviously hearing all this. He takes a moment to process, adjust his helmet as he does so, having hastily donned his armor. Well, if we're going to do this, we're going to go, and we're going to land, and we're going to stay there until the sun rises. We're not going to go anywhere. We're going to
Not
stay.
going to go into the brush or the island. We're going to defend ourselves from a defensible point.
Yes, in a circle around the fire, if need be.
We'll just put some light spells up, on the perimeter.
Well, I can see a little ways in the dark, so it's your funeral. But
I mean, it'll be all our funeral.
if you get me killed, I swear I'm going to haunt you.
Oh,
You and
I
your
think I can
Bale,
take you in the afterlife.
you and your Bale wander this, and your evil magic that, and I'm still not sure that the Night Stalker was not someone more homegrown to Barnacle.
We're wasting time with this nonsense. Let's get in the rowboat and get to
I'm
the
not
island.
wasting any damn time. Get your feet in the boat, slowpoke.
Oh no, Adriel would have already been getting into the boat while he's saying that. Yeah.
We're all sailing.
Yeah,
All right, so it's all in a bit of a rush, and the halflings are angered. They are upset. They are saddened. Yeah, it's not a happy moment for them. And you all get in the rowboat. They get it they get the rowboat launched. They get you in it. It fits the four of you, but there's not much room to spare. It's like a halfling-sized rowboat, so it's a tight fit for the four of you, but it works. And you've got your oars, and you start making for the island.
Now we're
I'm rolling a thing.
Yeah.
Now we start singing Pirates of the Caribbean music while mermaids come
Come
up.
on, Esper.
Tell me about the light situation you've got going on.
I think we just have a light spell from Vapor.
And Aygir, do you have a light spell?
No.
Okay.
Why?
Well, just wanted to know if we had two light sources.
I don't have that many spells as an artificer.
I don't think I have twin spells, do I?
And I think I'm just relying on my own dark vision
No.
and the light there for now.
Yeah, I only have quicken and what was the empowered? I think it was what the other one was. Yeah, so I can't twin the light spell.
No, that's fine.
Otherwise, I would have, because I was thinking if we had a second one, I could. We have one on the boat, and then we put one
Okay.
in the water as bait.
Vapor, where are you placing the light?
If he could find something small to stick it on, he'll put it on that, and then
I'll just hold it in the middle of the boat so it gets around
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
one direction where it comes from behind and
I
gets.
mean,
up.
I'm sure that we could have like a rock or something that we just like put in the center of the boat.
Just hold it up or whatever, and we'll keep eyes in all directions. There's 4 of us.
Okay. So Vapor's doing that. It's illuminating. Go ahead and everyone roll perception checks.
No disadvantage.
The light spell prevents
Just had to
disadvantage.
ask, Adriel.
17.
I got a 13.
Oh. I got a 22.
It's not natural, but I have a 20. I'm back to rolling high again. That's good.
Oh, we'll not be surprised, hopefully. Unless Esper rolls like a 30. And
Yeah, right. Which, who knows?
it's like, I don't know why I asked you to roll. I just rolled a 30.
All right. So you all see a shape beginning to come close to the surface of the water of these large tentacles, like, like preparing for like a lash out. But you all see that first.
I would
What
like
do you
to
do?
take an
Do you
action.
like pelt it with attacks?
Oh yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah.
Nope. I would like to take an action. I point my trident of fish command at it, and I say dominate.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It has been dominated by you. The thing comes close to the surface. It's some kind of giant octopod type creature.
Some would
It's got
say a
a
giant
bul- a
octopus.
a slimy, slippery, bulbous central body part. And he's like bulby eyes on the side, and 8 large tentacles. A big thing, really big.
So let's see. It's friendly. I have a telepathic link, and I can give it simple general courses. Can I command it to fetch that object, the body of the other halfling that or whatever they grabbed? And I tell it to fetch it and bring it to shore. And if it's still alive, maybe we can save him.
I doubt he's still alive. It's been a
I
few.
doubt it
It's
too,
been
but-
it's been a good like 30 minutes probably since he's been
we
in
we
the.
might have a chance. Who knows?
I mean, we'll have the body, if
Yeah.
nothing else. Maybe he's just like in the state of he's stabilized. Who knows? Maybe it likes to eat its food fresh.
You have a telepathic link to this creature.
I'll send you the spell of dominate.
No, it's like that. I think I have a good enough idea. All right, so you give it that command, and in its mind, I say thinks. It's kind of a rudimentary thinking. I eat.
Fair enough. In that case,
Maybe make it get us to the shore faster. Like push
yeah,
it.
I'll communicate the idea of without destroying us, or breaking the boat to push us.
I want to eat more.
No, not yet. You will follow my commands.
One of its eyes it's got like this weird vertical eye slit thing, and it's looking right at Adriel.
I hungry.
You will go to the far side of the island. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure because this
Good idea.
Yeah.
Can you find out if it was the one we saw earlier?
It's technically
Just eyeballing it, the shape you saw earlier. It does seem similar in size and shape. It might be.
Yeah. I told it to go to the far side of the island, and hopefully it'll be a good distance away before this wears off in like a minute.
All right, so it through the water and is gone.
Well, Wallykos, I have to say this is one fight I'm glad we didn't have to take.
Well done. Well done. You all row through the dark of the night to where the waves are breaking upon the shore. There are a few volcanic rock. I wouldn't call them formations, but just rocks, right? Normal coastal rocks. They're easy enough to avoid. The light spell of vapor helps you all fair amount, and you find an inlet. This is not a large beach. It's not wide by any means, but it's plenty wide enough for a rowboat. And you get it ashore, and you've got the waves just constantly rolling in, rolling out, breaking against whatever rocks and spreading out along the beach. And it's quite dark. The light spell really is what's doing it for you. The light causes all multitudes of little glitters upon the black sand of the beach. Here and there, you see a few scraggly coastal plants. These little beach gnat things are kind of jumping and flitting all about. I guess those would be fleas would jump. Gnats would be flying things. Little flying coastal gnat things flitting about.
We get the boat, and we actually have to lift it, I imagine, because we got to get it out of the tide, area.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I presume we like get on and like pull the boat into the shore and everything.
And let's look around the shore just to make sure that we aren't like about
Safe.
to attack.
Do you do anything specifically with the rowboat?
I mean, I'm sure we like put it like pretty far into the inland and like stake it down, maybe.
I was gonna actually suggest there's probably rope in it to tie it. So
That's what I'm talking about, like
Okay, so
staking
you
it down. with,
haul
like,
it
a
in
rope
and you
down.
rope it off to.
that way, even if the water somehow reaches it and it floats.
Yeah,
There's
exactly. Yeah.
strange tidal surges and
All right.
The plants here are these really scraggly things with these long stems and just a few leaves that are all droopy. You do see this one tree. You saw a different part of the island, the one that had that creature lurking underneath the water that had a bunch of these trees, bigger ones too. It's an interesting tree that has this base of roots that spread out really far. A lot of them are like over the top of the ground before they go poking into the ground. And then there's this trunk, and there's no branches along the trunk. And it even has like this kind of ribbed sort of form to it. And it goes up pretty high. And then at the top, it just like crowns out into all these snaking army multitude of branches. And the leaves are only found at the very ends of those branches at the top. And they just spike out all over the place.
So this is pretty rare that it's an actual like tree as opposed to a some sort of a fungus that's like a tree, like a mycopod or something.
There are some trees in this part of Haven Isle. But I guess I would say it's a noteworthy specimen.
Especially on
And
the island.
whatever is growing here
Yeah.
has to be kind of unique. This is not just regular soil. It's probably quite acrid and igneous. The beach goes inland some 400 or 500 feet before it hits this rocky terrain that starts mounting up in elevation. And that goes on for a ways farther, some 1,000 feet or so. You're going hiking up this rugged, rocky terrain. And then you get to an area of cliffs that rise up about 50 feet. It's uneven, right? It varies a lot, but the shortest climb, if you were to climb it, is about 50 feet.
Perhaps we should find a place to make camp and scout the area at least for a bit, just to make sure that we're not being watched or anything.
Well, it's still dark out, right?
Yeah, it's quite dark. Very dark.
Basically, kind of what
The
Adriel.
sky here is perpetually overcast
Mhm.
by this looming dark ashy clouds. And aside from that, it's nighttime, and the normal sky beyond that was fairly cloudy.
Yeah, Adriel's kind of just saying like let's set up like a campfire and then let's like look around a bit just to make sure that we are like safe and everything.
All right.
No, that's what
Make
Adriel's gonna start
a-
doing.
Yeah. If you want to gather a fire together based off of what the resources around you, make a survival check, or if you have some kind of item that can just automatically do it, let me know.
I don't think I have an item. Well, I get -1 to this. Oh wow, still a 14. 14.
Assassin binds slowly hug.
12
Okay.
for Vapor for his survival check to set up
Alright.
a camp.
Vapor and Adriel, by merit of Vapor's light spell, right, go scavenging about for resources. Alas, you are fraught with frustration. The things that you gather are meager. They're either too wet or too green, and you don't have particular skill in doing this, and you just kind of frustrate yourself and waste some time.
Aygir sits on a rock for a while and just spends some time just cleaning and polishing bits of his armor or the integrated thunder weapons, and just
You know, I get it probably gets a lot more done if you helped us.
Help to what? Build a fire and get us seen by something that would come sniffing around?
Well, it seems like light is probably a bit more useful when none of us can see.
Well,
Also,
yes,
being cold and wet is not a
Yeah.
good state to be in.
a fire would be nice, but I do not wish to go too far inland right now. There are too many things we could run into.
Of course not,
Too
but
too few upsides, too few things to find that would be worthwhile, worth such a risk.
of course, but I would like to dry my clothes and have something nice for the night.
Well then, how about I try this?
Yeah, prestidigitation.
I have magical.
Vapor does,
Yeah, I have.
Oh
magical
yeah,
I'm
you
currently-
can dry all of us.
but I'm currently using the light spell.
You can use both.
Yeah, you can use both.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can use
okay.
both.
Concentration.
Then, yeah, Vapor will start prestidigitation on himself.
All right. So,
And-
Vapor, you've dried yourself off with these nice little gusts that you've conjured.
Would you mind drying the rest of us off as well, Vapor?
I also pick
Are
up.
you going to stop being such? What is the word? Oh, I don't know. Confrontational to every creature that is non-humanoid in appearance.
Wallykos isn't humanoid in appearance, and I'm
Well,
not.
you know what I mean by
confrontational towards
you
them.
went after goblins. You were trying to kill goblins left and right.
Should we not try and kill goblins when they attack us?
When they're not a threat, we shouldn't need to be killing them.
Seems as though they were a much bigger caravan with a goblin girl who could scream and bring them all back to us.
He starts drying off using precipitation on Aygir. He's going to do Adriel last.
Aygir does not have a light spell, but he does have magical tinkering. So he picks a rock up off the beach and causes it to glow with light that it's a pretty limited radius. I think it's only a 5-foot radius of bright light and an additional 5 feet of dim light. And he's going to look at Wallykos and then look over at Adriel and look at Adriel and motion as if he's going to toss it to him and seeing if Adriel's ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
And
Yeah.
He very gently tosses it to Wallykos.
Okay.
Just catch.
Wallykos, you have a rock that's a 5-foot radius of bright and then additional 5 dim. It's kind of like the illumination of a
It's a glow
nice
rock.
big candle. Yeah, it's a glowstone.
I'll
And
make
then
you one
Vapor's
too.
light spells like an actual like lantern brightness.
I'll make you one too, Adriel, if you're done talking about how bad everybody different from you is.
When he does that and says that, I'm just gonna I think that I have. Would I have the enough tools to like make like a torch?
You have a torch?
Because
do
I
you?
do.
Do
Well,
you
I have
make
a
a torch?
Oh, do I not have it written down? Well, I would have the what do you call it?
A stick
know
and a
what this
rag
means.
soaked in wax.
Well, no, I don't know what it's called. It's like the
These
it's like the
tools
kit.
are
It's
the-
like the different kits that you can get.
You have like an explorer kit. Or
Yeah, like an explorer kit. I feel like that would
Yeah,
probably be able to make like a
engineer,
torch.
explorer.
I'm sure you have an actual torch in that if you have a proper explorer's
Yeah,
pack.
yeah. So I'll just like pull out a torch and then like light the torch and say, "I don't need your help anyway, Aygir. I can make my own way."
Fire can burn things too. You know, a light spell can't burn anything.
Suit yourself. Also,
Supreme,
yeah, it's worth
right?
mentioning if you have a Dungeoneer's pack, that actually has a bullseye lantern in it instead of torches.
No, I'm trying to see what I got. Let me see. I don't remember if I wrote it down. I probably would have gotten the explorer's kit. So that's usually what I get.
Pretty
All
sure
right.
that just has 10
So
torches. in it, yeah.
write down explorer's kit
Yeah.
officially.
Yeah,
So
I'm doing that. I'm doing that now, yeah.
That'll be cleared, clarified.
Yeah.
So what are you guys doing? Are you waiting here until dawn breaks?
Yeah.
I think so. I think that's kind
Yeah.
of the plan, yeah.
All right. So let me roll a thing.
Well, at least getting
Yep,
close.
okay.
On. Yeah.
So yeah, dawn breaks. A couple hours later, nothing appears or accosts you. You don't notice or hear anything throughout those final stretches of the dark hours of the night. And eventually, the hazy, yellow, rosy dawn appears on the horizon, out to sea, to the east, and the daylight begins feeding in. Blackrock Isle remains, no matter how bright it gets in during the day, the isle remains in this kind of gloomy haze. So it's real easy to get into a dim light, just by merit of the hovering ashen cloud that just never goes away from above the island. So it seems that there are these cliffs that are in the way to actually get up, proceeding through the whatever the interior of this island is like.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think that we should start exploring a bit.
And by exploring, do you mean climbing the cliffs?
Probably
Oh, is that,
looking-
yeah.
well,
Is there
like,
another
looking-
way?
Not that you've seen. The beach, the sandy part goes in some 400 or 500 feet. Then the rocky patch goes slowly up in elevation for about another 1,000 feet. Then the cliffs are ahead of you.
And we can only climb though. There's no even a narrow path that we can kind of switch back up them. There's only
You
a climb.
don't see a path, at least not here.
Adriel will go over
Seems
to
like
the
a wild beach.
Adriel will go over to the cliff and just sort of like look at it and just like inspect it to make sure that like kind of like routing his way up, like seeing how he'd like get up and everything.
Yeah, you take a look at the cliffs. Yeah, they're pretty rough rocks, and they've got different jut out points. So yeah, it seems to be a moderately difficult climb.
Yep. If it's, I'll attempt it. I'll try and start climbing.
Okay.
So Aygir is going to take out from his Dungeoneer's pack his rope and pitons or pythons or pitons or whatever is the correct pronunciation of that thing you jam into rock to tie a rope around. And we'll hand off some of them and some slack of rope to Vapor and say, "Now, I believe you have a way of dealing with this, do you not? Can you take a couple of these up there?"
I was wondering when someone would mention that. And Vapor is going to, thanks to his racial trait, cast levitation on himself and start going up and putting them in as he's going.
Oh, once Adriel sees that, he's not gonna try and climb. Like he's not gonna waste his time climbing if there's just levitation. Yeah.
Yeah, and Vapor's also pulled out the rope from his pack, so that he's got enough rope, and he's going to just get himself all the way up, putting in anchor points, and then once he's up at the top, he's just going to find a place where he can secure the rope and hold on to it as well.
Now, Vapor, don't go anywhere. We should stay together even when we are at the top of that place. It would not do well for us to get lost.
You're going to see Vapor poke his head over. "I'm tying the damn rope off, unless you want to fall."
All right, I never said don't do that.
And then he's going to go make sure the rope's secure, and then come back and wave them up.
All right.
At the same time, he's also going to hold
Vapor,
on to the rope.
Okay. I think I've got it. So, Vapor, you draw upon your elemental air power that infuses your very blood, and
Mhm.
you levitate your way up alongside the cliff, stopping at certain points to drive in pitons and feed the rope through their loops. And you get up to the very top of the cliff, where you can now, kind of lay eyes upon and behold the interior of the island and what it looks like. It's definitely a very rocky, mountainous type terrain. A rocky waste, you might even call it a black rock waste, even you might say, with various rock formations. There are even these like big kind of fang or spike shaped rock formations that just, but not bore is the word I'm looking for, pierce their way out through the rocky bed of the ground. There are rising sections, different terraced parts. It's just a very rugged terrain overall. Here and there, you'll see little tuft patches of these like scratchy grasses or a little scrub brush, or maybe even one of those trees that I mentioned. But it's definitely not fertile nor lush in any way. It's just like pockets of vegetation that's like this, gnarly scrub vegetation, quite rocky, dark coloration to the stone. Sulfurous smell is always kind of like pricking at your nose. Every once in a while, there'll be a little drizzle that comes down from those clouds overhead. And the drops of rain have like a kind of ashy grit in them too. It's not just pure liquid. You get the climbing rigged up. You get the rope rigged up, and your allies take advantage of that. I think that should suffice. No one is like in a rush or in some kind of immediate danger. So if you want, you can just kind of take your time, go up nice and steady. You're helping each other along, and you just all get up the cliff, and it's really that big.
Well, yeah. For what it's worth, though, given Adriel is who he is, Aygir doesn't want to have his back to him as he goes up. And given that Wallykos is still potentially recovering from an injury or just dealing with his normal, what Aygir assumes maybe is just like bone spurs or bursitis or something, he's going to make sure that Wallykos, did I say Aygir when I meant Wallykos? Either way, he's going to make sure that Wallykos is up too, so he'll volunteer to go last and then be up there with the rest of them.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so it looks like
the top. Just curious.
What did you say?
How far is it to the top?
50 feet.
50 feet was the shortest climb.
Okay.
So a decent.
So you all make the
for a
ascent.
normal person, but yeah.
Cool. You make the ascent. Vapor has the levitation. Aygir had the rope and pitons, so that's fine. You get up there. Well done. You're surveying this rugged, rocky, steadily increasing in elevation, mountainous wasteland before you. Here and there, gnats will buzz by in a cloud, or some other small insectoid thing will go darting this way or that. But again, it does not have a fertile look to the place. It's rugged and kind of a wasteland, really.
Once everyone's up, Vapor is going to gather up the rope so it's not hanging behind.
Okay, you take up the rope, so you still have that ready to use, and I guess just leave the pitons there so you can utilize that when you come back down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. You all are now trekking through this, what I'm going to say is like a peninsula. I don't know if we can properly call it a peninsula, but it's the southeastern section of Blackrock Isle, trying to get to the heart of it. It's quite slow going as the terrain is very rugged. I would call for a wilderness navigation check here. You can have one person guide your whole party, or you can all do it in unison together, doing this big group check.
I'm not good at survival.
I don't know that any of us are necessarily navigators.
I have a -1 to survival, so definitely not Adriel.
Does anyone have more than a +1?
Does anyone have a 0? Does anyone have 0?
Yeah, it's true actually. Aygir is proficient in it, so he has a +3.
Yeah, so that's
you're the best.
All right. This is a survival
Aygir,
check.
would you like to try to find the the best path to lead your party through, to not only go in the right direction without getting lost, but also avoid pitfalls and other natural dangers?
I would indeed, and given that I'm assuming we probably left the rope just so we can climb down there at the end.
Vapor said
no, Vapor took it with us.
He did. Okay, all right.
Vapor said he took the rope but left the pythons in there.
Okay. Okay. Well, then, still, given that, I think it makes the most sense just to look for not only the most direct path, maybe also one that follows the most level ground.
I just checked. It is piton is the proper pronunciation for that word.
Interesting.
Level ground. There are some little, swaths of level ground, but most of it is uneven and rising up in elevation.
Right. Well, then, yeah, either way, just, the path of least resistance.
Yep. All right. Do what you can do here.
All right. Well, so you said wilderness navigation. Is this a survival check? Or
Survival,
is this,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not cartographer's tools?
I think that would be for creating maps. So you could be
That's fair,
taking
but,
breaks to draw maps.
Either way, 19 plus 3 is a 22.
22 is excellent. So no one falls off of a precipice, and you avoid some other natural hazards. There is one thing that I can notice, that I can point out in particular, is you see it's hard rocky ground, so it's very subtle, but you can see that something has slithered through a part, and you might almost think, oh, there's maybe some large serpentine creature slank that way towards its den or on a hunt, but there are indications that it's actually a plant creature. You see small little bits of fibers that rubbed off against this one sharp rock, for example. So there's something here that seems to be some kind of predatory plant that has a slinking shape to it.
I like this not. Predatory plants are not something I know from the steppe, nor are they from barnacles. I prefer it when there are fungal creatures, and when they only move a little bit at a time. Well, let us
so you are leading
going.
your party on without getting lost, and you're making good time considering the rough and rugged terrain that you are moving through. After you have trekked on for some time through this kind of long hike that you're having to do, I want everyone to make a perception check, as there is something up ahead.
I have a 10.
17. My perceptions have been really good today.
Fortunately, I have not been rolling good on my perception because that's 11.
17 for me.
Wish that was an insight, because then I could be better.
All right. The rogue is saving the party from any kind of surprise.
I don't know. Maybe I won't save
Surprise
Aygir and Vapor. Maybe I'll just tell Wallykos. Like,
Are you really?
no, I'm not.
No? All right.
Adriel's not gonna like sacrifice his comrades in a dangerous environment just for spite. Like, that would be
That'll be next campaign. We'll
That'd be a bit more chaotic evil.
So,
yeah.
Adriel, you spot something up ahead, and you spot these things before they get close to you all.
Could I? Could I do something actually? Just for like a little bit of role play. Like, if it's coming up ahead and Aygir is kind of in front, like leading us, can I like sort of like pull back Aygir a bit, like as we're like walking forward, like pull him back and just be like, Aygir, there's something up ahead.
It's like what?
I'm not. Esper, what do I see?
Okay, so there are these rocky ridges up ahead. There's rocky ridges all over the place. But you see slinking along and starting to like actually fly off of the rocky ridge are these 3 creatures. They are medium-sized creatures. They have these pale, long, serpentine or wormy bodies.
Kind of like
And they have
fly,
these-
like
They have these
lizards.
wing. Well, you don't notice any legs.
Okay.
They seem like pale, spiny worm or snake things, but they have these spiny wings, and their mouths are like these circular maw things. They're rather worm-like creatures.
There's some kind of there's about 3. You said there were
There's 3 of them,
yeah.
and they are starting to come swooping your way, and
Yeah,
you
there's
all
about-
see them.
Yeah, there's about
Yeah,
3 of these flying creatures up there. I get ready, and I'm gonna like pull out my weapons, I guess, because you said they're
Excellent.
flying towards us. So
They are indeed. So I'm going to reveal them.
actually, I don't know if
You're
I'd pull out my short swords if they're flying. I'd probably pull out a crossbow.
Aygir
short
says,
bow.
"You better know what you're talking about." And with a slight crackle of thunder, his integrated weapons, his saber and his spiked shield, pop into his hands and lock into place with the rest of the joints of his armor that are ready. Which, by the way, he is, I believe, once again using it in Guardian mode.
Oh wow, these things are
Pretty
pretty far ahead of us. Okay.
Yeah, well, you spotted them far ahead before they got before they were
Gotcha.
able to get up close to you all.
That's
So
good.
yeah, good on you for that.
Actually, sorry, that's a lie. I meant to say infiltrator mode. Aygir is using the infiltrator option
makes
of
more
his armor
sense.
model.
It's more mobile, I imagine,
Well,
It is, and it has a ranged weapon.
and it has a ranged weapon. Okay, so here's the look of these creatures.
Ooh.
They have these nasty tail spines,
Mhm.
pale flying wormy things, and the terrain, as I told you, is quite rugged. Here's the I just put them down like this, but actually Aygir was,
Yeah, I was gonna say Aygir would have been probably in front. Yeah.
there we go. Okay, why don't you all roll for initiative, as these are hostile predator creatures.
I also, yeah,
With your
since they were
natural.
flying, I would have also pulled out my short bow, not my
You're
short
not here to make
sword.
friends with
Okay.
us?
Well, there's my natural 20 for the night.
Nice. I have a 9.
I have an unnatural 20.
I think my rolls have been precisely all over the place tonight.
Oh wow, yeah, my roll. Yeah, I've either had like really good rolls or really bad rolls. My roll is what is that?
Just take the alert feed and blow initiative out of the water.
It's
yeah.
a. Sorry, I have to think because I have the charisma thing, so it's fine. It's a 7, so very bad. The rogue goes last again.
I love the alert feed. I used that once.
Well, look at it this way: they might get within 5 feet of an ally.
Could I get it? Could I get advantage on my initiative since I spotted it first? It actually doesn't
I'm
matter.
gonna-
It was a 1
I'm gonna
anyway.
say I would decline to acquiesce your request.
Even if it was, I rolled a 2, and then my second roll was
Who's
a
got
1.
who's got the highest initiative?
I think Vapor does with a 21.
I have a unnatural 20 then after that.
All right, so we've got 21 Vapor, and then we've got 20 Wallykos. Then
Aygir with a 9,
9 Aygir. Okay.
and
Ben?
Adriel with a 7.
Okay. Vapor, you can act first. These rock formations, they rise up kind of high. They can block view. They can give cover. Here's like a natural slope going up to some higher ground, and then again and again.
I'm pretty sure they're out of 60 feet of range from me.
Yes. Quite a bit.
He is going to ready a spell. So as soon as one of them comes within 60 feet of him and he's got any sort of shot on them, he will take a shot at them.
And what are you readying?
Stormbolt.
Stormbolt. Okay, of course, Stormbolt. Very nice. Let's move
And
along to
that's-
Wallykos.
Had to find my mute button. Wallykos is going to take a shot with his heavy crossbow, assuming they're within range.
They're probably at least within a disadvantage range.
Oh, that's what I need
Yeah.
to.
Yes.
What-
Yeah, you can attack with disadvantage. They're at like a good 170 or something up there.
170. Heavy crossbow is
100, 400.
400. Got it. Worth with disadvantage.
You could always just wait for them to approach.
Could do that. I'll take the shot, and that way, even with disadvantage, I'll have another turn to take a shot. Nope, that's gonna miss them. Even with the +7. So yeah.
Creatures fly.
I would like to
Oh,
move.
nice.
though.
Oh, I might actually
Oh,
get.
yeah.
I might actually get a normal attack here if they fly closer. Yes, getting bad
Can you
initiative.
Esper, move me forward to the front? And I also use my object manipulation to draw my dagger.
Draw your dagger. Okay. The creatures come flying, swooping in. They're up in the air, pretty high overhead. I've marked some elevation on the map so you can see where the ground is at, and then they're flying up even higher than that. And they have these tail spines. They're going to
Shoot some tail spines.
maybe fling them. I'm going to see if they've got.
I feel like I've seen
range.
these in a newsletter somewhere. I don't
Oh,
know
yes.
where.
Yeah, I wonder where.
Huh. So weird.
Yes. I know. How
And I
about
wonder if there's a place to find them in like a published book. I don't know if it's out yet, but maybe in a month or two.
I made the call a while back that there's no MIRRORMOURN stuff in the Emporium.
Oh,
Yep.
hmm.
It's going to be all non-MIRRORMOURN because I've got so much stuff from so many years, and yeah, maybe MIRRORMOURN could be an Emporium too, or even its own book. But that is not here. It is there, and what is here are tail spines flinging at Wallykos. They're at disadvantage for long range. There are, I think, a total of 6 attacks.
Sure.
Yeah, there are 6 attacks. Here they come. A rain of
Oh,
tail
God.
spines. Okay, to hit. 14 is a miss.
You already have this.
Um,
There's no point in dodging or doing anything special. So
20 to hit.
20 will just barely.
Okay. Natural 1's a miss. 13 is a miss. 18.
We'll miss.
I think you said you got an AC of 19 now, right?
Yeah, you miss. Yep.
Okay. And last one is 13 for a miss. So only one of them strikes you. It's long range, so they didn't have really good shots. You take a total of 7 piercing damage.
I will go ahead and use Uncanny Deflection. Why not?
Nice.
Actually, do I want to use that already? No, I'll take the hit. I can, with a little bit of damage, we might short rest, and I might be able to use a hit die to get that back.
I think that's smart.
Let's move along. We are on to Aygir.
Alrighty. Well then, I will extend out my integrated spiked shield thunder weapon. Although at this, actually no, sorry, these ones are just plain not active because it's infiltrator. He'll just extend out a gauntleted hand in which will appear what looks like a bow, but made out of just pure crackling, almost lightning energy. And he'll make the motion like he's drawing it, and will aim at. I'm guessing he's not within 90 feet of any of them.
You can be if you move.
Okay, then yes.
Oh
he
wait,
will-
actually you're right there. Yeah, you're probably like
Oh.
exactly 90 feet from them.
Okay, then without even moving, he'll aim at one and motion like he is releasing the arrow, which will crackle as a bolt out to 90 feet.
And as we all know, it makes that "pachoo" sound that we all remember from the 90s, you know, from a certain ranger's bow.
I mean, speak for yourself. I watch Super Sentai.
Well,
That
you
ranger has so
childhood
much power.
Power.
Go ahead and make the attack, man.
Yes. It's just the first time I've used it. Just need to make sure I know how to do so.
So if you're Hank,
Yeah.
then
Okay.
Adriel must be.
I don't think I've ever seen this, so I don't get the reference. But
Too young. It was before your time, youngin.
That I'm thinking might potentially hit. That is going to be a yeah, that's going to be 24 to hit.
Yes, you fire your bolt of arcane energy past the spiky rock formation up into the air to the flying creature, and it strikes it.
So it does a d6 of damage, and then once per turn, I can also make it do an extra one. So this is going to do 2d6 of damage. But I don't believe that's actually plus anything. Oh, it says it counts as a simple ranged weapon, so I guess that is plus my dex mod.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. So that is going to be not terribly much damage. It's only 6 damage.
8 damage is damage, right?
Yeah. Hopefully they don't resist it.
Okay. They do not. Though, just out of curiosity, what kind of damage is it?
It
lightning?
is. Yeah, it is lightning damage.
Lightning? Okay, cool. Yeah. You blast the thing, or at least, hit it to some degree, glance it, and that it functioned. It didn't seem to be a particularly walloping hit against it, but it was effective. And Adriel is the last in the initiative.
Are they within 80 feet of me? I don't think so.
You could move up to get them within 80 feet. You could move up to probably like around here.
Okay, now I'll just I have a short bow, so it's 80/320, so I'd have disadvantage on this. But I'll use my since I don't want to get closer to them, I'll use my steady aim. So I'll take 0 movement this speed to get advantage on my roll, and then since I have disadvantage, I'll just have a normal
equalize it
roll.
out.
Yeah, exactly. So I won't get sneak attack, but that's okay. I might hit 14.
14. And they've got a bit of cover from the rock.
Oh, with the cover, probably not.
No. That is not going to do it.
All right. That is my turn.
You try, and alas, it does not strike. And we're going to go back to Vapor now.
They're still outside of 60 feet. Just ready a spell again.
Okay, you keep your Stormbolt at the ready.
Mm-hmm.
And
Bring it back to me, I believe.
No, didn't they get an attack before you? Or I don't remember.
No, I think they went after Wallykos.
Oh, they went after Wallykos.
It's initiative 21, then 20. So,
You're right. You're right.
Esper.
I'm doing a thing here.
Okay. No one to take my turn.
This is not particularly a stealth, so I'm just going to say that you hear something like a thudding or a landing sound, a kind of seems like something just hit or landed up here on the other side of this rock formation.
Okay.
I'll just say that. And
If we
go to Wallykos.
If we ignore it, it'll go away.
I'm sure.
Wallykos will put his dagger away with Omnip, shoot his crossbow, which he, of course, reloaded with his bonus action last turn. I don't say it, but I assume if I have nothing to do with my bonus action, I reload. So, shooting at...
It doesn't normally take a bonus action to reload, so you're fine.
Doesn't it?
I don't think it does.
No, that was 4th edition.
Are you sure?
And 3rd edition before that had an action to reload. No, you just
You
can't
have
fire more than one shot per round. So if you get to multi-attack, you're stuck with one crossbow shot.
Has the ammunition property only after one piece. Drawing the ammunition is part of the attack. Okay. Huh. I thought
You're thinking of the loading property of crossbow, which just
Yeah.
says you can't fire more than one shot per
Okay.
round.
Sure. Then very good. I have free bonus actions I didn't even realize. I'll take a shot at this thing. And I miss it completely. Reload my crossbow. And give me a second. I have a bonus action to do something with here. I think that's an action. Sorry, Paragon stuff isn't readily. Yeah, it's an action. Cool. Can I move somewhere where I can get completely hidden? I can be able to hide in any way, shape, or form? Probably not.
Okay, so you look around, and you could get like maybe back here. You could go up flush
Yeah.
against this
Yeah,
stone wall here.
I don't want to leave the party
There's
exposed.
like bushes over there.
Yeah.
There's these
Just
rocks.
move me up to cover. Yeah, put me in cover from their spikes, and I will be ready for when the thing jumps down on me from above. I'd rather it come for me than the squishies.
Okay. That was Wallykos. The flying spined worm things continue to flit about. So let's see. Let me check a thing. Okay, got it. Vapor, if you want to do your storm bolt, it's within range for you.
Was Aygir not before Vapor after Walykos though?
No, this is his
His,
reaction.
his ready.
Yes. Okay,
attack.
sorry, that's right. Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's going to miss, but I'll double check. Yeah, I think an 11 is going to miss.
It does indeed. You send it out. The thing wings over and evades it quite deftly. The first one will still fling at Wallykos. Wallykos put plus +2.
Probably +2.
It's not that. Yeah, it's not that. Not
I'd
too
rather-
severe of an angle.
I'd rather let it take a shot at me than be in total. Yeah.
Okay, and it has disadvantage still. They bear in mind they are flying. They're up pretty high. They're up, like a good 40 feet overhead of you all. So
We need to use the Pythagorean theorem here. Figure out what their range is.
Yeah, they're at disadvantage. I know that much, so that's all that really matters. Okay, to Wallykos, there is a 20 and a 10.
Because of the +2 cover.
Oh, a tail spine clacks,
Cliches,
clicks, yeah, right off of a stone close to you, and that was coming straight for you if it wouldn't have been for that jutting out shield of stone. And
just like I planned that way.
Well done. Aygir, you've got the next 4, again with disadvantage, being flung at you. All right, to hit, 9 is a miss. 10 misses. 13 probably misses you.
Yep.
And how about a 17?
A 17 hits.
All right.
Until I get better armor and increase my dex score, my armor class is not actually that great.
Get in cover, bro.
What is your AC, Aygir?
Currently it's 16.
Yeah, the same for me. Yeah, I have to.
Aygir, you take 5 piercing damage.
Ouch. As soon as I can
And it
scrape
is-
together some more money, I'll buy some half plate armor, and that'll fix things.
I'm just waiting
that'll
for
make a
level
difference.
4. That'll make my AC a little higher. When I get my dex to
Talk
20.
He'll give you some half plate armor. Oh wait, you don't have a patron. That's right.
Nah, not yet at least.
You don't have a
We'll see what
patron
happens.
either. You're not a warlock. You just have serendipitous encounters.
Yeah, until you make a pact with the unmasked mini here in MIRRORMOURN. Aygir, it is your turn.
All right. Which is the one specifically that hit me?
It is this one right here.
All right. That one is definitely getting a lightning bolt of lightning from my lightning launcher.
Try taking cover. It's a good idea.
First things first. That is going to be quite a bit to hit. That is going to be a 19 plus 6 is a 25.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
All right. So I'm definitely opting to do the extra d6 on that one as well. That is going to be 10 damage.
10. Got it.
It I assume is still in the sky.
It is still in the air.
Then
It flinches at the pain and at the hit, so it definitely impacted it. But you didn't knock it out of the air.
I'm gonna duck behind that nearby rock and get me some of that sweet cover people keep talking about.
Very nice. Well done. You go and take your cover there.
And that's me.
Adriel.
All right, I do have a question. How far away is that rock to the left? Like the far one to the left?
10, 20, 30, 40, something like 40, 45, 50, somewhere around there.
Okay. Is that rock that
I
Aygir
just do
decided
that.
to take?
There you go, 40. 40.
Yeah. Is Aygir's rock that he's taking cover in, is that able to be? Am I able to like hide under that as well?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I just wanted to check because I'm gonna attack first, even if I have disadvantage, just so I can get an attack off. I don't know if the closest one to me is it within 80 feet. Will I have normal attack? I'll have a normal attack. Okay.
Yes.
I'll take. Yeah. I'd rather get the cover than go for the advantage attack here. So yeah, I'll take the normal attack, which is a well, maybe it hits because it doesn't have cover. 14. Got another one.
14 narrowly misses the thing.
Narrowly misses.
Its natural armor thins it off from your arrow.
All right, I will take my. I'll move over there with Aygir. Then I'll take a bonus action to hide. Do I need to roll stealth or anything? I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Go ahead.
Does he have total cover? That's the
26 with my stealth, my hide.
Okay. So, does he have total cover? Maybe. Let me roll a thing.
I should hope so.
No. The shape of the rock is not enough to give you total cover, but you have like 3/4 cover.
Oh, am I still
And-
considered hidden though?
It's enough for you to get hidden.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought the ruling that you went over a while back was that if they can perceive you, they're not fooled, even if you like run behind something that is physically, there if they can see you still.
Well, I mean, if he comes out, then they'll just automatically see him.
Okay.
But I do have. I'm just curious if I'm
almost
hidden.
since he's mostly covered up 3/4 by the rock. I think that's enough to hide.
Okay. I'm just making sure for my next turn with being hidden attacks. Yeah.
Yeah, because I could then see him next turn, kind of like just leans out the other side and shoots.
Yeah. I'm trying to get advantage on my next attack. That's what I'm doing. The
Right.
stealth.
But if they just like fly right over there,
And
they just
don't forget
they
you have
just
that
see you.
feature that if you don't move, you can.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's my turn. And it was a stealth of 26, if you need to know.
Well, yeah, well done. Quite a good stealth. Let's go to Vapor.
All right, so he's going to go to the right because that's the closer one. Otherwise, I have to dash.
You're going to the right where you heard the thump. When you get eaten, it's all right.
Oh fuck! That was right. That was to the right. Okay, never mind. He'll go to the left. He'll start making his way.
Maybe Vapor didn't actually like
He heard
remember where it was at.
No, I remember. I just couldn't remember where it was. Where the
I know,
bump was
I'm
at.
just joking.
And I was like, oh shit. I'm looking at the map and going, okay, well, I only went out not in cover. This is not a good idea for me to be out there. Oh, I can't go to the left in one turn.
There's 30 feet there.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just have to duck in there next turn. All right. Whichever one looks the most hurt, he's going to take a shot at with a miss. I rolled even worse than last time, so I know it's
Okay.
gonna miss.
You shoot out the bolt of lightning. Alas, it does not.
We
strike
used
you.
all of our good rolls on our skill checks. Now we're gonna
Yeah.
die.
It's unfortunate. Okay, so now, Vapor, make a perception check.
Ten.
Thump.
3. Okay, so you have succeeded. Vapor, something comes slithering at you, slinking, and you notice it quite aptly. It is a plant creature, plant-like thing, with a serpentine form.
Oh, That's
looking
scary.
something like this.
We get a zoom in of that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm zooming in on the wrong map.
No, Adriel
I'm like,
just
I'm
kind of
zooming in
like
on my DM map. There we go.
Adriel just kind of like looks through the cracks of his hiding spot,
Oh.
sees this big thing, he's just like, oh fuck no, oh fuck no.
Oh, you son of a...
I feel like we fought these in a different campaign for some reason.
Nah.
No.
All right. It lashes out at you with its, it has this plant, almost viney like body, but it has all these fibery hair things sticking off of it that looks like they might stick to you. That is a natural one, and it's.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say a natural 20.
Nope. It stumbles on the rocks or something and doesn't actually lash out at you properly. So you are spared whatever grisly doom that might have brought upon you. And it is actually a different creature's turn now. Okay.
A thump. Fee fi fo fum. There's a thumping in the rock on the right.
Yeah,
Didn't
there is
rhyme,
a
but-
thumping over here, and there's a creature appearing.
See if he's going to use the whole bestiary from the newsletter.
No. A creature that this is the closest thing I could find on the old World Wide Web, but it is something elemental that looks to be composed of igneous rocks and a bit of scrubby landscape. It's about the size of a human, and it's up there on the rock. It's actually on the other side of the rock, so just use your imagination that it's like Wallykos can see it kind of well, but Vapor wouldn't see it completely straight on. And it does it has like this weird vibrating, twitching motion that it does, and it is actually affecting the ground. I want to do.
And we just like jump at like the perfect time so it doesn't hit us.
Need to jump.
Well, it's not quite that. It's not an earthquake, if that's what you're suspecting. All right, so that is okay. Cool. That is what I need. So
Tangled.
Yeah, so it can only hit 3 of us at least, so one of us gets to not take damage.
There we
so
go.
It's either Wallykos or Vapor who doesn't take the damage.
this area of ground is now filled with jutting up, thrusting up, spiky, jagged rock. This is a spike growth field.
Is it a dex save?
It's it's nothing at the moment. It's difficult terrain, and it looks like if you step in this, you're going to get
every 5 feet
poked and stabbed.
Yeah, it's a nasty spell. There's no save. Basically, if you move, you take damage.
Yeah.
So the thing has done that, and then it's not completely animal intelligence, so it knows well enough to get back around over here for a pretty good amount of cover. It might actually be full cover because it's up higher and has this giant rock. I think it has full cover.
I know it's there now.
But you hear it up there. You've seen it. You've glimpsed it.
It's not hidden from me per se, in the sense that it would get advantage.
It is your turn as well, Wallykos.
All right.
So the bushes are coming to life. The rocks are coming to life.
Right.
There's flying spined worms.
How far is it from where I'm standing to the top of that little cliff?
Oh, a good while, right?
20 feet up here?
20 feet?
Yeah, 20 feet.
It's not that bad, actually.
I could probably get up there.
Yeah, you could climb it because you have a 40.
I've got a jump. Yeah, I've got a 45-foot speed, and I also can add like a D8 to my jump and height. I'm always considered running jump, so I might just be able to just jump and grab it with one hand and pull myself up or whatever.
What's the high jump? How much?
That's what I gotta see. So my special feature gives me an extra D8 feet to any jump, including high jumps.
What's your strength modifier?
+1.
Okay.
So I am an expert in acrobatics. Yes, I am an expert in acrobatics.
With a running start, you'd get 4 feet off the ground, plus like your body and your arms.
Plus
That
a
would
D8.
be enough to get up to 20.
Yeah.
Plus a D8. Well, let's see.
I mean, that's 12. You said 4 feet plus my arms and my body.
If you
Okay.
would like, or if you could get a running start and like roll the 8.
Well,
think
I
you'd be
always
nice.
considered to have a running start.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I still think you'd have to roll the max 8 because it's 20 feet.
I hear you. Let's not worry about it right now. Let me just keep moving. I'm gonna shoot.
You could just climb.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
you could just make an athletics check and do 40 feet would get you
I
up
get you.
there, assuming you succeed.
I'm gonna shoot the thing on vapor. So
Yep.
let me see if I can hit that. That's a nat 20.
Oh, you don't say.
Yep.
Vapor, I'm sure you're relieved.
I wish I had more dice to add on to it, though. Just a heavy crossbow, sadly.
Oh, it'll be 2d10
any
plus 5.
damage, because I have something I can do, but I'm not sure how much damage it's going to do to this thing.
Well, I rolled fairly well on the damage. That's 19 damage.
Whew, 19.
Actual crit rather than 2 1s on the dice. Crit.
All right.
And
You,
then
you slay the thing. It's dead.
Oh, fantastic. Put a bolt in it.
That thing had like no life at all.
Well, I mean, yeah.
You did 19.
Yeah. 19 is...
Yeah, your crossbow bolt just drives right through its fibers, and the thing just kind of falls over, writhing on the ground.
I will use my object manip to get my dagger out because I feel like I'm going to be in melee in a minute, and I'm going to climb up this side of this using my 45 feet of movement.
All right, go ahead and make an athletics check.
I pull the dagger out after climb. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Maybe
you
your
pull the
dagger's in
dagger
your
out
teeth.
and then
You're
start.
missing your teeth when you're
Hold in
climbing.
my teeth. Yeah. Whatever.
Hard climb. Plus 10 to whatever you're doing, because you look like a pirate now.
Har fiddly dee.
18. 18.
Yep, 18 is good enough.
All right.
So get up there, and you could still even go like 5 more feet, I guess. To not be right by the edge, maybe?
Yes, I think diagonally 5 feet would be nice to put me further from the edge.
Okay,
No
cool.
shoving. Yeah.
So you can see this thing. It's, got maybe some partial cover against you, but you do see the
And just to confirm,
the igneous lesser elemental there.
the spikes are on the floor, not the wall that I climbed. Just to confirm, Esper.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that. Let me see.
I'm being fair to you, but I do think that they're on the floor, not on walls. But
Well, that'd
It is
be an
just on the
interesting.
ground.
Yeah.
Well, because that would be an interesting question. Because if they're on the walls, you could use them to climb up.
yeah, well, you could climb
It's just on the ground.
Yeah. All right. There's too many ways you could abuse it, I bet. Anyways,
Let's move along
I'm
to
Ceiling, collapse the
flying
ceiling.
creatures. All right, so the flying creatures. Let's see. These two circle over there.
They won't Wallykos.
Yep. So you're up higher now. So they're like 20 feet above you, Wallykos.
And in preparation, because I know that they're no longer going to have disadvantage, I assume.
Yep. Yeah.
I am going to use my my hand of fate to get the dodge ahead of this.
Oh, okay.
I
Very
mean,
well.
I could wait, but it makes more sense to use it in preparation rather than saying, "Oh wait, Esper, because you crit me, now roll with disadvantage." I don't think that's as fair to you.
Wallykos, you expend your hand of fate to take an instant dodge action. So that'll be until the start of your next turn, right? That keeps going. And they attack with disadvantage. So here are 4 disadvantage attacks from the tail spikes. So 13 will miss. Nat 1.
Think,
Nat 2.
think.
And a nat 7. All right. You have nimbly evaded all 4 tail spines This one is going to come over here to fling at Vapor. Here are 2 tail spine shots. The first one is an 11 to hit.
That just hits.
Whoa!
Boy, you get
And
hit by
then-
an 11. Oh boy.
And then the next is a 24, so obviously that will hit.
Learn the shield spell.
I do
Vapor.
have it.
Shield spell is good.
Yeah, well, I can only block one of them with
You
the
can only
shield
block
spell.
one of them, but it lasts.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm going to cast the shield spell as a reaction.
just in case.
All right. The shield of force comes out and reflects the first of the spines that was driving right for you. The second one hits you, dealing 5 piercing damage to you.
Okay.
And it is now
Not great.
Aygir's turn.
You can recover that spell.
All right, so this is all spiky terrain. I don't really want to move. Am I, from my position, able to get a clear shot off at either of the 2 that are currently menacing Wallykos or the one that's going after Vapor?
Vapors is out in the open. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't be able to hit him.
Right. It's just,
Yeah,
based on the
you
position
have
we are.
you have clear shots on all of them because they're
Okay.
flying up there in the air.
The
All
main
right.
thing is you don't have to walk.
hmm
Right. Hopefully this is not a bad decision, given that Wallykos is alone-ish near 2 other things, but I am going to shoot at the one by
I-
Vapor.
I barely tapped any of my shenanigans.
Good. That is going to be a 20. It's not natural, but it is a 20 to hit. And because I don't have extra attack, I'm basically always popping the extra things. So 2d6, that's not terrible. That's 8 damage.
Hey, can you remind me which one you shot?
The one near Vapor.
Okay, 8 damage on.
Seems like I always roll like a 5 and a 2. That's been a pretty consistent theme here. Or 4 and a 1 or something like that.
It's they're not huge wallops against the creatures, but it's doing what it's intended to do. And the damage is inflicted. Let's go to Adriel.
All right. I'll also attack the. I don't think I'm in range of the ones of Wallykos. Like how far away are they from me?
I'll tell you.
Yeah, I think they're probably like.
That's that plus they're up in the air, so it's it's like 65 feet away from you or something.
Oh, okay. They probably saw me though. I assume.
These can see you. This one you're hidden from.
All right,
so-
I'll just attack that one then, so I get advantage on the attack.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
That's why I was
probably a
checking because like
good
I
call.
wanted to. Yeah, I was gonna help Wallykos if I could get advantage on those 2, but I'd rather help Vapor here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll take my advantage. So that's going to be a. Ooh, so 21.
Oh yeah.
Please hit. Okay, thank
Oh,
goodness. All right, and that's advantage, so that's going to be sneak attack. So that's 2. So that's 3d6 altogether.
Okay.
Roll. Oh wow, that's 16 damage. I'll take it.
16. Well done.
Sneak
It
attack.
certainly felt that a little bit more. The sneak attack hits the creature. It lets out an awful shriek of pain.
Nice. And then I'll use my bonus action to attempt to hide again,
Very well.
and that will be
So,
a.
I wonder if you
16.
need to actually move to hide.
Do I?
Is there anything in the rules that say you have to like go into a new position to hide?
I don't
I
think
thought that we
so.
covered all this. Like, you had a huge thing where you debated this. You're like, well, I don't think that
So when
just
you, so
right
it says,
and going
so-
back down.
so it says, I'm looking at DM's workshop. It says, when you try to hide, make a dexterity stealth check until you are discovered or stop hiding.
Yeah.
That check's total is contested by the wisdom perception of any other ones. If they searches, and you can't hide from a creature that can see you clearly, but I can hide
Right.
behind this thing. So
Yeah. I
Like,
think
you're
it's fine.
Okay. All right.
Really, it all just comes down
I
to
feel like you've 180'd on what you said earlier, but I mean, we could go back and look at the logs on that. So,
Well, I have not intended to 180. So
It's interesting. We'll discuss it after session. It's not important. Just make the ruling. Yeah.
yeah, that's fine. It makes sense to me. So go ahead and roll the stealth check, Adriel.
Oh, I think it was oh man, I think I just rolled it, but I forgot what I got. I'll just reroll. I think it was a 21.
All right, 21. That is working out for you. We're going back to the top of the round with Vapor. You have taken some damage.
Yeah, he's going to duck behind cover and cast Mage Armor on himself. And that will
back
be...
like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's his turn. And so far, no wild magic surges.
Yeah, I was going to say, was that a check for a wild magic?
Yeah, I checked on both shield and that one. There's
what
surges,
you might want to do, Vapor, in the you might just want to cast Mage Armor at the beginning of every day so that you don't have to use it during combat.
I might. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to do if you're going into an area that most likely has danger or encounter.
Because it lasts for 8 hours, so.
Yeah, it's 8 hours and no concentration.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no.
Vapor takes a defensive turn as things are getting a bit dangerous. Probably a smart move on his part there. We're going to go to the elemental. This lesser.
Is Wallykos after Vapor?
Wallykos is after the elemental.
Oh, it's inserted between 20 and 21.
Mm.
Okay.
Yep. It's got 21. Actually, the plant thing and the elemental thing got 21, and Vapor got 21.
Nice.
Yeah. So where am I at? Let me go over to the other tab. It's okay. It's got the spike growth going. It is probably going to fling some fire at Wallykos. Yes, it will. All right. This is an attack at Wallykos, and you dodged, so it's got disadvantage. It lobs at you a glob of magma, and that is not going to hit with a 9.
Nope.
Hooray for disadvantage. It just keeps utilizing the rock formation for cover. Maybe it'll go back a little farther. Yeah, it seems to have some intelligence and sense of tactics to it.
That's fine. I mean, there's no way that it can, with my move speed, get total. It's not going to have cover from me when I go.
It is Wallykos' turn.
Remind me is no, that's
the creatures are 20 feet above you.
I was gonna no, I know. I'm just asking. I was gonna ask if spike growth is concentration or not. So if he took damage, I don't know that. I'm not gonna look it up. I'm just gonna try to break its concentration, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna move me 10, 20, 30. Move me 30 feet directly to the right. Should have straight on shot on him.
Yep.
Trying to,
Yep. You see him there on the other side of this, huge spiky rock formation.
I take a shot. 19 on the die plus stuff, so 26. Did I assume?
Some high shooting there. You certainly hit.
Go ahead and take 10. I'm sorry, not 10. 8 damage.
8.
And then DC 10 con save, I assume, for if memory serves me. I think it's a concentration spell.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be too powerful if it wasn't concentration. If you could just drop that and drop another and another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm hoping his con is not great, but seems unlikely.
Probably great. Yeah, usually rock creatures have pretty good con. But hey, he might roll low.
He did roll low. He got a 7.
You guys are free.
These spikes sink back into the earth. They didn't do any. I'm disappointed by that. All right. Maybe he'll cast it again.
Because all the players are just like, you know what? Let's not move in all these spikes.
I'm not quite done yet. I will put my crossbow with my object manipulation, holster it. With my dagger in hand, I'm going to use my last 15 feet of movement to get right up in his face. because he seems to like to lob things and do stuff. So
Mhm. All right, you approach the Ignean with
I
the
pinned
dagger in
against the
hand.
wall, so he's got to either provoke or do something, attack me in melee. Yeah, I'm
The flying creatures are flinging additional tail spines. These two circle around in pursuit of
Oh man,
Wallykos.
I was gonna attack one of them my next turn, but
I mean, you've got a target. You've still got targets.
Um,
Plus, you can dash if you need to.
yeah.
this one here. Let me see. It just got sneak attacked.
It also doesn't know where I'm at, even though I moved in the same
Well,
location.
it knows you're over there somewhere,
I know.
and it's apparently not a fan of dying, and its survival instinct takes over, and it goes flying off.
Opportunity attack from range.
I was going to shoot that one, but then I was like, but then you two aren't going to be able to move and contribute anything. So,
All right. So I've rolled my DM die of, random impromptu generation stuff. No one can see the one that flew over there. It's just behind such, large rock formations that it's just blocked from sight.
Oh, that makes sense.
But that's
like,
defeating a monster. So that's all that matters.
You're a cheater. I want to see that die roll. I'm just kidding.
Wallykos, here are 4 tail spine attacks at you.
I thought you were going to say it's my turn. I'm like, no, shoot at me.
So the first one is not a natural, but a 19 to hit.
So
And the second one is a nat 20.
That's fine. I'm going to use my uncanny deflection on the second.
Oh, okay.
Higher.
So, all right.
Just
then
do the regular damage first, and then do the.
Then we got another 19 to hit.
Okay.
And then a 15, and then a 15 will miss.
Let them
So
hit the
3
volcano man.
All right. The first one deals 7 damage to you. The first regular hit.
7 damage.
7 piercing.
All right. Sucks.
And then the critical hit. You're doing uncanny deflection, right?
Let me hear the damage. I mean, if you roll like 2 damage,
I did actually roll very great. It's 9 for the critical.
I will use uncanny deflection. It's probably the higher roll that you'll do.
So you only take 4.
No, it's a roll. I have to roll to see.
Oh, you have to roll. I thought it was halved. Oh,
He rolls
I'm
D8
thinking
plus
of.
the dex
I'm
mod.
thinking of the rogue thing.
Yeah, you're thinking of the rogue thing.
This is a Paragon feature.
Yeah.
All right.
A wonder, in fact.
My dex mod, which is increased. Yep,
Mhm.
that's going to be 12 reflected back, which can only be 9.
All right, so you reflect all the 9 back onto the creature, flinging its spikes onto itself.
What I was going to say is I probably block the spike in such a way that it kind of spins in midair. Like it reflects, and then I grab it out of the air and just hurl it back with magical, supernatural force.
Excellent. Yeah, you hurl the spike right back into the thing, and it takes its own critical hit.
Yep.
And then the second regular hit, well done. The second regular hit deals 6 to you.
Yep. I'm hurt. I'm badly hurt. But
without that uncanny thing, you would have taken 22 damage that turn. So.
Oh yeah, without that uncanny thing, I'd be down.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
yeah,
that was actually pretty damn cool. I got to say.
Yeah.
It is Aygir's turn.
You were just in a perfect position to use that, and it's such a fun wonder when you're like that.
Can we do anime thing? Aygir, throw me up there.
I just wish it was more than
You're not a
a
dwarf.
for long rest. Like if I could have it proficiency per long rest or anything, like whatever. So it got better over time, but I guess it does get better over time. Anyways, go on.
Yeah, because it scales based on the opponent's damage. Anyway, you're not a dwarf, Adriel. So Aygir, not fully able to see what's going on up there, is going to run up to the base of that cliff, assuming you can see over the cliff, or to a point where he can see.
Okay.
Where he can.
So sounds like you're coming out and like going this way.
Yes, to try and be able to shoot at either of those.
You can shoot at the flying ones, I would imagine so, because they're
Yes, that's
20
what I
feet
mean by
above
either.
this is.
Yeah. I can't see the volcano rock.
No,
Volcanic
but
rock
these two
golem
you can
thing.
see, and just by merit of their flying.
All right, seeing the one with its own spine stabbed into it, I'm going to capitalize on that, using it as, even though it's not metallic, almost like a lightning rod to focus my shot on that one for that bolt of lightning, which is going to be a 19 to hit. I'm guessing
That
a
does
19
it.
hits.
That does it.
All right. So popping that extra one is going to do, wow, again with the high die, low die, it's going to do 7 damage.
All right, 7. There it is. Okay. Your Stormbolt crackles into the winged, spiny worm thing. It definitely didn't like that, but it's still flying.
All right.
Adriel's up next.
Am I able to see the ones up there since they're flying?
If you just move out a little ways, you could. Just so this big rock isn't blocking you anymore.
Okay, yeah, I'll move up there a little bit, and then I'll take a shot on one. And I don't have advantage on this one. Oh, I'm trying. Oh, actually, no, I'm not able. There's no way that I could. I'm thinking of shooting the rock.
Are you trying to
one.
do a hide thing?
No, I'm thinking of options because like I could potentially dash and get in range of the rock one, but I think we can maybe take down one of these flying ones. So I'm just gonna attack the one that Aygir attacked as well with normal attack. Yeah. 21.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you got it.
Nice, and that is just a d6, sadly. D6. All right. 9 damage. Rolled very well. Almost max.
Good
and
shot.
Then,
Your arrow strikes.
yep. And then I will. So I moved what, like 15 feet there?
I think 20.
Oh, was it 20? Okay. Can you move me
Something like
up?
that.
Can you move me up 15 more feet?
You want to
Yeah,
like
like-
get hiding behind this?
Yeah, and then
ridge there?
then I'll do a bonus action hide there, so I can hide from them all. And
Yeah, cool.
let me get my roll for that, which is 24 for stealth.
All right, cool. So that's fine. I mean, they can't even see you anyways, just
Mhm.
because this actually goes up 20 feet, and you're
You
right.
never know, Esper. There might be
Against
more
it.
creatures out there.
Right, but there might be more. That is true. There probably are more, actually. Who am I kidding? So it is now Vapor's turn. You don't immediately have any creatures nearby you. You've got a mage armor protecting you now. Wallykos is in kind of a bad spot, though.
All right, Vapor's going to move to see if he can get any sort of angle on them.
Okay.
I'm sure you
Get
can.
Get out here and... Yeah.
All right.
Do you want to be closer to Aygir or like back?
Well, as
farther
long as he's
away?
within 60 feet, he can make a shot.
Okay. We'll just say maybe you go up like that.
So let's make a shot. 14, I think, misses.
It is a narrow miss. They don't have a lot of natural armor, but they do have a bit, and it's in a case like this that it does serve them well to stave off such close calls.
Okay.
A
That's my
valiant
turn.
effort. Vapor, make another perception
no.
check.
Vapor, stop getting attacked by things.
14.
14. Okay.
That probably sees it.
Higher than a 14. That's a 15. So 16. A thing slithers up behind you, out from the bushes. Another plant creature, and it attacks you with advantage.
Vapor, stop looking so delicious. They keep attacking you.
19 to hit.
Oh,
Yeah.
shield that.
Even
No, it won't matter. I have 4.
Oh,
gets hit
yeah.
on 11. Yeah.
No, I get hit now on a
it would hit
14 with my mage armor.
but
So with shield, it'd be 19. It's still a hit.
still
It doesn't
hits,
matter.
Exactly. Oh gosh. All right. Where's my? There it is.
Item.
Well, actually, I rolled pitifully low on the damage. You take 3 bludgeoning damage as it grabs you up, and you are restrained in essentially its coils.
Vapor and Wallykos have just been taking the brunt, but Wallykos has abilities to deal with this. Vapor's just like, I'm a sorcerer. I can't go away. Woo. Have you been rolling for your wild magic, by the way?
I have, and I haven't. Each time it's been a success.
Yep, he's noted it. Yep.
The elemental creature had its spikes taken away, so that was... He wasn't very happy about that.
Disengage and run away.
No, he burrows into the ground and then attacks Vapor.
Mm-hmm.
I'll still stab him if he tries.
It makes another gesturing thing, and it even has this kind of sound that's a cross between crumbling rock and bubbling tar pit, or maybe bubbling magma. And
I don't speak.
It's not one of its rocky hands, and almost seems to make like a grasping gesture at you, Wallykos. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no, a Constitution saving throw, you say?
I do say.
Whatever shall I do? I'm going to use my inspiration on that.
Whatever shall I do? I'll roll again.
Yeah.
Nat 20 on the reroll.
Okay. You have succeeded. And
rolled a 7 on the first roll.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, like a little thin layer of rock, like started to creep up your skin, like and then you like broke it off and shook it off, and you're fine. There's no trouble. It is Wallykos' turn.
All right. It's just going to stand there and take it. I take it. Well, I'd love to just stab it in its face, but it's made of lava or obsidian or something.
It looks to be a composite of igneous rock and some, bits of earth, and even here and there, deep inside, a little hint of some magma flowing, maybe like little veins of magma inside of it. It's not like radiating heat off of it, if that's what you're asking.
No, it's fine. I just
maybe it's radiating warmth, but you don't feel like you're going to get burned.
If it had even taken one step rather than just standing its ground, I would have been happy. But could have shown off the new improved Satyr's ploy. But I guess it's just going to stand there. I stab it.
It won't stand there forever.
I stab it in the face angrily.
Okay.
Why won't you move?
That's what he was saying to you with the spike growth.
There's a 15 hit.
I think it does. Yes, indeed it does.
All right. Does 15 damage sound good? I can't hear you, Esper. You're muted. You're still muted. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I actually hadn't said anything at all. You pierce the thing with the dagger, and like it actually punctures out some of the rock. It starts to crumble off, and it looks like the thing is starting to lose its integrity. This does not look to be a very strong, stable kind of elemental creature.
Yep. So I could have cat's clawed it, but instead the reason I didn't is I'm bonus actioning disengaging with Fade into Mist.
Nice.
And 45 feet of movement. Esper, take me back the way of the party using... I'm happy to leap down from the steps, not from the straight 20-foot drop. So
will it not get an opportunity attack?
He disengaged.
Oh, you disengage. Oh, I see.
He used to disengage as a bonus action. Yeah.
He has a Paragon Wonder that's part that mist effect that he did.
It's not quite as good as yours. It can't dash. It just can hide or disengage as a bonus.
And once per day,
it's
area
also
of mist comes off of you.
Is that as far as I can go, Esper?
Yep, that's your 45, and you get onto the slope that's going down towards Adriel.
Okay. Yeah. So long as I've got some form of cover there, I will pull my crossbow back in hand and dagger in the other hand, and we'll go from there.
Right. The predators pursue you.
Oh, now they can see me. Sad face.
And yeah, there's
And that was always gonna probably happen.
Adriel there.
Still hidden from the line.
It's true.
Let's do some flinging tail spines
At who?
Out of tail spines at this
at
point.
Wallykos. Actually, this is the last volley that they have. After this, they just have their nascent, nubs of ones that aren't going to fling out. So
Yep.
they're going to have to either fly away or go into melee.
Oh, here we go.
Ooh, that was good. We got a 19 and a 23.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop on this. I'm 90% sure.
All right, so let me just roll this now.
They're close to us now, though. So
12 piercing.
Yeah, I'm down.
Wallykos is down.
Wallykos! Adriel screams out.
I mean, a 19 AC is good. You're just on fire with these dice rolls.
Yeah, he's been rolling well.
Some of them. I've rolled quite a bit of low ones too.
Well, that's also because disadvantage. You've been rolling fire with disadvantaged rolls too. So
Yeah, there are some pretty bad ones in there too, though. I think you notice the good rolls more than the bad ones.
It happens.
So you're on this slope when you fall unconscious.
Yep.
That's almost a cliff, though.
Yeah, I'm going to.
I mean, Adriel's there. Like, I know it's not my turn, but like, can I stop him from tumbling?
I
don't care. Whatever.
Adriel, you can spend your reaction to make a. Help me out here, guys. What would this be?
Athletics.
Yeah, it'd probably be
Athletics?
athletics. Yeah, I want to say acrobatics because that would help me, but athletics makes more sense because I'd be holding
Yeah,
him.
acrobatics would get you into the position, but athletics is more like the physical catching him.
Yeah. Yeah, athletics would make more sense.
Okay. You as a reaction, you can make an athletics check to keep him from tumbling down this rocky slope.
Honestly, it's a really bad idea for me because I have -1 and I'm probably going to tumble with you. But Adriel would try to help to stop Wallykos from getting hurt more. So yeah, I'll use my reaction for that because that's what Adriel would do. All right, so this is a strength. I don't think I have any proficiency in athletics.
Doesn't seem like it's something that's very hard to do, though. So.
Yeah, I got -1 though. Oh no, probably not a 5. Yep.
Oh, that's not enough. Okay. Wallykos tumbles and bangs down. I'll give you a death saving throw fail because of that.
Yeah, so like I imagine like when he starts trying to tumble, like Adriel like goes to like try and like grab him and like maybe like his hands like slip between Adriel's and like he wasn't fast enough or strong enough and like he falls in. It's just like Wallykos.
You try. It's really an effort, and you are particularly connected with Wallykos. He's important to you. But he just, goes past your grasp. It happened too quickly. And he just, bangs down and lands with an unpleasant thud at the bottom there.
That means the other spikes miss me because they were totally aimed at where I was. I get the plus, full total cover bonus.
So here's the question. Oops. Did they literally fling at the same exact time? It kind of makes sense.
That's
to me.
up to you. That's
actually here's what I'm gonna say. That was the first spike from the two of them, and now they have their second one, which they're gonna aim it at Adriel.
Understood. That's a fair compliment.
Oh, I rolled decently good. 17 and an 18.
Both hit. Yep, I have a 16 AC.
13 piercing to Adriel.
13 altogether.
These are good monsters. They are solid threats.
Yeah.
Wait, you said 13, right?
13 total. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of imagine Adriel goes to try and grab Wallykos and then gets spikes in his back,
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's what stopped him from
stabbed in their back.
It's what stopped him from saving Wallykos. Maybe he had Wallykos and then he gets stabbed in the back and drops him. Yeah. Help Wallykos. I can deal with these two.
So we are going to Aygir, but just to touch on that point again, you notice that their they've expended their amount of fully developed tail spines. So
Right.
doesn't seem like they have range attacks.
Or they're unloaded.
Adriel does ask Aygir though, like in his pain, like help Wallykos, like I can deal with
Sure,
this too.
but that's so split. This is a split-second decision. Aygir right now is in the middle of seeing that happen over there. Saw Wallykos fall. He looks like he might be dead. That's a real problem. Vapor is grappled by this cobra thing, and these are happening in different directions. Aygir's spinning around, has split seconds to decide. Maybe perhaps notices that that they are out of spines and barely hears maybe even what you say. And unfortunately for that, he is going to go turn wheel at the cobra and try and shoot it in the head and get it to drop Vapor. Mike his claws up your asshole. Damn flying snakes. And is going to take a shot at the cobra.
Yeah, Aygir's just like, it's all bad decisions.
It's a rock and a hard. It's literally some rocks and a hard place.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you know, that very nearly was a 2. That is going to be an 18 to hit.
Nice. Well, I mean, if it was nearly a 2, it's going to be a high number.
Right.
There's high numbers right next to the 2. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Roll it up. I guess
All right.
I like the cobra term you've given, a thicket cobra, let's call it. Does not seem particularly difficult to strike.
I don't know if it actually has like the fan or something, but
I could see it. Yeah.
All right. Big money on damage. That is all right. That is going to be 12 damage.
You
6
definitely
5 plus 1.
Yeah, you definitely severely wound the thing, blasting out a chunk of fibers off of it, and it looks like, you know, any other hit is just going to knock it down to collapse.
Vapor, can you handle it? I think Wallykos is in trouble.
And
We're going to have to help him.
Vapor,
you?
I imagine Vapor gets his hands close enough to make this small little clap for Thunderwave.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, like that. Like you hear this little.
Yeah. You blast the thing into little fiber smithereens.
And any buddies that were hiding in the bushes behind it.
Was it
Yeah,
not
and if there's any more within a 15-foot cone from me, are also hit.
No, you got him.
Do I get my turn, by the way? I think I was supposed to be after Aygir, I thought, but
No, you. went
yeah, that's true.
Oh, we skipped you.
Sorry. Yeah.
no, it's fine. It's fine that Vapor does that.
I think it's because you did that reaction thing that I thought.
Yeah.
My bad.
No worries.
Okay, but that's okay. It doesn't actually matter at all. It doesn't
change anything. No,
yeah, it doesn't change anything. So go ahead, Adriel.
Yeah. So like, Adriel, like seeing that happen, I guess he wasn't going to help Vapor in that situation anyway. But like seeing that Vapor is fine, I guess it makes him look better.
Oh,
maybe.
I know you weren't going to help Vapor.
Yeah, I mean he would have, but like he's more concerned with Wallykos. But yeah, no, he'll sort of like pull his bow out and yeah, he'll just do I want to steady aim? Yeah, I just want to get rid of. I want to confirm. Yeah, I'll steady aim and attack one of the ones that I've already attacked, and the one that's like looking pretty bad because one of them's been attacked, I think, a few times. So yeah. I'll attack that one.
Plus, you might crit with steady aim. So
exactly, yeah, and I get sneak attack as well. So
oh yeah.
Alrighty, so here's my steady aim. Nope, 13, not good.
Your arrow
yeah.
flies right past the thing. They have a slender body too, so
yeah, I got a 2 and a 7.
I would hate
they're not hard to hit, but they're not easy.
I know that, like, so
moderate.
So I know that like this might not do a mechanical thing or anything. If it does, tell me, but it's fine if it doesn't. But like what Adriel would, I know that I use steady aim, so I technically can't move, but I know I'm like right over Wallykos. After shooting it and seeing that he didn't get it, he would like put his body over Wallykos, sort of like protecting him in a way. I don't know if that'll be that might not be a mechanical thing, but like that would be like the role play thing that
you can
that
be
Adriel
like
would definitely do. Yeah,
giving him some cover. Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
I know we're having fun in the middle of combat, but we've been at this for over 3 hours, and I know people got bedtimes coming up.
Yeah, should we pause things here?
I think we should because kind of we just need to remember technically you took your turn, Vapor.
Okay, yeah, I'm just going to make a note.
Yep. And then it should start with the lava earth.
A weird golem thing.
Yep.
Okay,
And
I've made a note to myself. I put it in bold. I put it in blue font. It will definitely be clear. That is true. We are a little over time, but that's okay. Another great session, and we'll have a bit of a tense cliffhanger to come back to
next
time.
week.
Next week, yes, we'll be playing again next Sunday, everybody.
And the Sunday after that.
Yep.
Two more Sundays in a row.
We had to skip one, so it's a 2 week in a row, which makes it a 3 week in a row.
The Morn train will continue. All right.
Next
Thank
stop,
you guys,
Mirrorverse.
and thanks everyone for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.
Yep. Talk to you all later.
Good night.
Bye.
See ya.